All right. Anyway, uh, you know, you know,
キャベツソフト。
you know who won't peg me?
アメージンググレイス。
Jesus, loud as fuck again. All right, the characters. Look, it works in my Tetsu because Hachiroku is the only character on the screen, but but you know who? No, never mind. Anyway, last time we played Amazing Grace, the world fucking ended. But silver lining, Yune has read a bunch of regression manhwa, and she figured out how to regress back to the 2nd of December, when they ate the apple off the tree, the glowy apple, right? They ate the enchanted golden apple, and they got powers. But you know, Shu, since he lost all his memories, right? He didn't remember reading any regression manhwas, right? He only got the power to get his memories back. So all I'm saying is that he got the short end of the stick, and I mean the really short end of the stick. Like, bro is already remembering, right? And he just he just ate an apple that made him remember more. Like, Jesus Christ. Meanwhile, Yune just turns back time almost a full month. Like, excuse me? Look, all I'm saying is that Amazing Grace is woke. Stream until the 4-hour mark. I'll think about it. What the fuck? Alright, there you go. But anyway, let's don the appropriate attire. Carbon, you didn't stream yesterday. Yeah, but I'll think about it. As in, if I'm tired after 3 hours, I'm not gonna keep streaming, right? So, yeah. Either way, let's just get into it, shall we? But remember last time? What do you mean last time? The 10 minutes? Yeah, but you said JK. Look, all I'm saying, Dexter, is that I already streamed 40 extra minutes last Amazing Grace stream, right? So, you know, only 20 minutes. The break? Yeah, but like, you know. Anyway, enough stalling. Alright? What are you hiring for? Let's just get into it. Where am I? Realize I'm with Yune. I guess we're still here? Oh, never mind. That's right. We went back in time to the first Thanksgiving to take turkeys off the menu. Wait, wrong game. But where are we? And what day is it? And what day is it? Shoot, I know it's been like a whole stream, but like, don't you remember seeing the transition? It's literally said the 2nd of December. Did this actually be December 2nd? My mistake. It said... it is not, in fact, the 2nd of December. What game were you talking about? Okay. It's not a game. It's just a movie. It's called Freebirds, right? And the plot of the movie is that these two turkeys break into Area 51. It probably isn't anime. I mean, you're right, but it's a funny meme. I'm so tired, overwhelmingly exhausted, but overwhelming exhaustion washes over me. It only lasts for a moment. The next thing I know, I'm wide awake, and I leap out of bed. Oh crap. This isn't the time to laze around in bed. I remember everything that led to me being here. The town and burning. Well, I think, look, Shu, all I'm saying is that you can tell that you're back in time because the dove clock is back, baby. Alright? Kyrie hasn't destroyed it yet. It's not even evening yet. Did I read that last thing? Yep. Which means... Hold on a sec. There's still a chance of... there's still a chance all of it was a dream. If only that were true. If only the raging fires and that bizarre purgatorial scene with Yune was simply a dream. What's the date? Oh, let's check this. Oh, that's right. My clock's busted. Just as I'm mourning my awful luck, I spot something in the corner of my room. Huh? An odd feeling creeps over me as I look back at the dove clock by my bed. I told you.
あれくらいで壊れる方も壊れる方だぞ。ほんのちょっとこう。
This is trippy because Shu is having a flashback of a future event.
今すごく嫌な音しましたけど。
My clock's fine? Well, yeah, it's the 3rd of December, before Kyrie destroyed your clock. But I could have sworn Kyrie accidentally broke it. I handed it over for repairs, so it shouldn't be here. I pick it up to examine it, but it seems fine. It looks exactly as it did before it was broken, without so much as a scratch. Have you heard of Idiocracy? Yes, no, in what context are you bringing this up? Which means... it really did send us back in time. It's the most natural explanation. I can't believe it. Power that red apple bestowed on Yune was real after all. Holding my perfectly working clock in my hands only further convinces me of that. While I don't want to say I doubted her, it's still hard not to be shocked when faced with such an obvious miracle. Let's try it out, just to see what happens. The movie? We're talking about a turkey movie. Yes, I was talking about movie Freebird. What does Idiocracy have to do with... hang on. Idiocracy. Yeah, I don't get it. I bopped the dove clock and...
クック。ただいま12月3日月曜日7時29分。
I mean... I guess they went back in time like... midnight? I don't know. I was just curious if you knew about it. Well, I have never heard the movie of the movie, so... She did it. The space I find myself in, and the air itself feels so normal that it's practically abnormal. There's no reason for me not to believe it. I must be feeling the same way. I need to talk to her about this right now. Just as I'm about to head out. She beat me to it. One sec, I'm coming. I rush over to open the door, assuming she must be in a similar mind state as me.
おはよ
Her hair is a mess of tangles and curls, like she'd literally just roll out of bed. I guess it's morning already, huh? More importantly, did it, Yune?
う。ああ、うん。
What a vague reply. It's probably a little too early to be congratulating ourselves. Somehow it worked. Check this out. The clock Kiri accidentally broke is still in one piece. I'm sorry for doubting you. My formerly broken clock is the proof we need that Yune's time travel was successful. Yet, even when faced with such solid evidence, Yune still seems troubled. Yeah, but like, how do you know this isn't a simulation, right? Yune?
シュウが喜んでるのはわかるんだけど。
I mean, like, the next question is, how are you gonna stop what happens on December 25th? He hesitates before saying something truly bizarre.
何が成功したの？
What? That's what I'm saying. Her expression is completely neutral. Her question exceedingly normal, yet completely bizarre. Doesn't seem to be joking around. There wouldn't be a reason for her to lie. We made it. 3rd of December. The 3rd of December, the morning directly after the Apple incident. Yune continuously nods in the face of my obvious bafflement. Okay, I forgot, right? At back the first time, right? She essentially did the same thing, right? Because her reasoning for coming here was like that they both forgot how they got back, right? I think that's what it was. So the reason for why she's so shocked is not because she knew that they went back in time. It's because she is just the same Yune as before, only now Shu remembers. Because of the green apple, I guess.
そうだね。3日だよ。
Which means a part of me is relieved, although I can't ignore the lingering look of confusion on her face.
シュウは昨日あの後に起こったことを知ってるの？
Last night?
だから私とシュウでリンゴを飾りに行って、それで。
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I remembered the events just now. I forgot the main reason why she. I forgot that December 3rd, the first time she did this though.
2人でお願い事をしたら飾りが急に光り始めて。
Huh? A strong sense of deja vu grips me, and I quickly understand everything.
そしたら本物のリンゴが落ちてきて。
She's saying the same things as last time. The morning after the first time we ate those apples. We had made it back somehow. And after waking up, Yune came barging into my room. Yeah, but I figured that out before you, so I'm better. Everything's playing out exactly as it did the first time. No wonder she doesn't understand me. The reality of the situation quickly dawns on me.
何か知ってるなら教えてほしいなって。私気づいたらベッドで寝てて、今起きたばっかりで。
I see. Most of what she said sounds very familiar. I have an idea about what's going on, but I need to test it first. You know, sent us back through time to the specific date. You remember?
巻き戻それって映画の話？
Like in the girl who leapt through time, but it's not leapt through time because that'd be copyright. It was a different movie with a similar name. Looks like my theory is correct. I make a mental note. Got it.
本当？
Yeah, anyway, it's almost time for breakfast. Okay, I'm curious to know, I didn't know it was an actual movie. I mean, that's why I was confused, because it is an actual movie, right? I mean, I thought you were making a joke, and then I search it up, and then it's an actual, and then Idiocracy's an actual movie. But I'm curious if Shu will ever try to prove that they went back in time, because at this point, right? I'm talking about the girl who left through time. Oh, you're talking about that. You're talking about that movie? Of course, it's a real one. I forgot what they. I forgot what they called it. Hang on. I wonder if we're far enough. Yeah. No. Wait. Should be close enough to when he talked about it. Never heard of it. Oh. I think it's by the same guy that made Your Name. Makoto Shinkai. Something like that. Wait. Yeah, there's Anna. Alright. Talks about the girl. Wait. Yep. The girl who jumped through time, yeah. Like, they only changed the verb. Yeah, anyway, it's time for breakfast. Go on ahead. I'll meet you there. Like, what if Shu just said something to Yune that he would have zero idea of unless he came back to the past or something like that, right? That's usually how you prove that you came back from the past, right? I mean, you came back from the future. Ooh. With Yune gone, I'm left alone. After hearing her footsteps vanish into the distance, I vent my frustrations into my empty room. Why doesn't she remember anything? Because she didn't eat the green apple. It all makes sense now. She's completely forgotten everything from before the jump. And now I can't talk to her about anything. Maybe it'd be better just to think of her as the exact same Yune as she was before. In other words, her second chance doesn't come with her previous memories attached. Yes, but she's the FemC, so I think it would be more beneficial if you tried to prove that you actually did come back from the future, right? You went back in time via using the apples, right? Because she knows that the apples somehow became real, right? And like, yeah, a person's experiences change them fundamentally. Without those memories, she's doomed to repeat the same mistakes. But you can change these experiences. Crap. The only one of us who made it back successfully was me. We're the only two people alive who can save this town from its impending doom. Our plan sounded as good as in theory, but by its very nature, it was doomed to fail from the start. We won't be able to figure out anything now. I should have talked to her when I had the chance. There's still time to set things right, though. After all, despite Yune's memory loss, I made the jump back in time successfully. And I still remember everything that happened in all its gory detail. The person who initiates the time travel can't retain their memories, but at least I did. Well, yeah, because you ate the green apple. If I'd also forgotten everything, we really would be doomed to repeat our mistakes. My memories of the future intact, and a strong desire to change that cataclysmic outcome. We still have a chance. Every revolution had a couple unexpected bumps along the way. It's fine. I can do this on my own. There's a dark storm ahead. I still remember the events leading up to it. If I play my cards right, I might be able to lead the town on a path away from total annihilation. It looks like I became Noah after all. Still, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Yune. I have to build the most magnificent arc I can to ensure her efforts were not in vain. Thank you for sending us back, Yune. I'll take it from here. The end of the world. Just like what happened 101 years ago. I refuse to accept our doomed fate the way it is, and vow to myself I will fight tooth and nail to do whatever I can before Christmas. Perhaps we'll be blessed by the real amazing grace. The real miracle starts here. Me. Look, at least his artwork will be better this time because he's got the muscle memory.
Shu, 大丈夫?
More or less. I'm struggling far less in my second period class compared to the seemingly insurmountable hurdles I faced the first time around. Sakuya should be joining us in a moment. My memories might be hazy, but I can still trace them well enough to remember what happens.
お邪魔します。一緒に帰りましょう、ヨネ先輩。
Just as I thought.
はーい。
You coming, Kyrie?
終わり。私琴音と一緒に帰るんだ。
Oh yeah, when we get to Kyrie's romance choice. I'm not going to read the rest of that. Okay. Everyone's actions, including Kyrie's response, follows the predestined script exactly. No one besides me knows how the script ends. They're all going through the same motions they did the first time, like NPCs in an RPG. Well, yeah, because you're the only one who can change the predetermined outcome. Can I change the course of events if I deviate from the script? Yes, you already did. You already showed that you could change the outcome by how Yune responded differently than the last time. Going through the scenario exactly the way I'm supposed to will only lead to the same outcome. Meanwhile, if I were to suddenly start tap dancing naked, the reactions of the people around me would set us off on a new path Maybe, actually, you know what? Try that. See how the people will react, alright? It's art, is it not? You can make an argument for it. I'm not sure I want to do that, but I can at least try something else. Hey, Sakuya.
Huh?
She seems taken aback by my sudden question. How she'll react to the rest of what I have to say is a mystery to me as well. What should I do? I had to say something to break us out of the script, but I hadn't thought about what exactly.
どうしたの二人とも。
Didn't hear that. Oh, nothing was wrong. Nothing wrong with the audio. Uh-oh. Thanks for the hydrate. Wait, why is my blankie not working? Hang on, I gotta do that. Blankie. Just command. Why is command not working? Ah, okay. There we go. Just command. There you go. I know why it didn't work. And stretch. Oh, right. Do you know what's on the menu for lunch? Why are you looking like that? Sakuya? He seems uncharacteristically dumbfounded. Although I'd been interested in seeing her reaction, I hadn't expected this.
はあ、すみません。いきなりで
Thus. But we're literally on our way to eat lunch. What happens if I get to a million berries? Like, is there a cap? No, there isn't a cap. Well, I'm definitely diverging from the predestined course of events. I didn't think it was that weird to me to bring that up.
いえ、そうではなく、シュウ先輩が急に近く感じたもので。
True. Because at this point in time, it would be about 2 weeks? 1 week. Since they first met. Oh, shoot. Yeah, but like, that's a good thing, right? If you act like you've been with them for a month, you know, it might diverge from the script. That's what threw her off. I guess I got a bit too careless. It's December 3rd, the very beginning of the Advent season, which means I've only known Sakuya for not even a week. That's what I'm saying.
確かに、今のシュウはちょっとフレンドリーだったかも。
I was hoping to get closer to you, Sakuya, that's all. Hey. I'm reserving Sakuya for second last route. The adorable Sakuya I came to know over just under a month's time is not the same Sakuya I'm talking to now. I'm still the blasphemous outsider. She just met, who's a year older, and a boy. I have to dial back the familiarity, or else she'll get the wrong idea. I don't want Sakuya to end up hating me. I don't think she'll hate you. I have to be way more careful with how I talk to people from now on.
まあ、そんなこんなでサクヤはびっくりしたわけです。
Sorry, I guess I was a bit forward.
許してあげます。
So sweet that I don't think my little goof will adversely affect our friendship. Little sad. That time we shared together in the igloo. It's as if the memories I still hold from the previous timeline left gaping holes in my heart, now filled with emptiness.
でも咲夜結構嬉しそうだよ。そんなことないですもんだ。
It's as if the month we'd spent together had simply vanished for everyone but me. Our relationships back before they began. Very much so. Look, all I'm saying that she wouldn't have invited you into the igloo if she wasn't comfortable around you. Okay? All those memories made over the course of 20 days are simply gone. Along with the emptiness, I also feel intense bitter disappointment. Sometimes that's just how she goes. There's still time to rebuild the bonds of our friendship. I hope so, at least.
じゃあ帰ろう。
Wait, but how did she become that comfortable with Shu in under a week? That's what I'm saying, right? How did if Sakuya wasn't that comfortable, it wasn't so comfortable with Shu that she would invite him into an igloo with only the two of them together, right next to each other, right? Like, you know, he needs to put two and two together is all I'm saying. Okay. Now, I decide to try my best to stick with the predetermined script, destined script. I'll have to make do with the vague memories I have.
それにしても寒いですね。12月なので当然ですけど。
That's the problem, though. I still don't have enough information. Right, like, there was that outlier memory that Shu had, where all of them were in the art gallery and they just kept calling him sensei, even though in the memory they were a year apart, right? Even Sakuya called him sensei. But, well, not even Sakuya, like, Yune called him sensei, right? Didn't get a chance to talk more about what happened, and Yune was clearly distracted all throughout our morning classes. It makes sense. We ate those apples without thinking about the consequences. But you know what the apples do. So, what if, you know, you just tell Yune what happens when you eat the apple? Us eating those apples for the first time marked the critical trigger for our impending time travel. Although, on that initial fateful day, we still didn't know that yet.
先輩方？そうだよね。
Yep, uh-huh.
何も聞いてませんでしたね。
Well, I think God must have saw the future and chose to help them, right? I mean, you know, God in the sense of how of when you think of God, you think of omnipotent, right? God probably foresaw that the world would be, that this place would be saved if Yune and Shu went back in time to the 2nd of December and yeah. Sure, yeah. Bootstrap theory. We're both noticeably on edge, exactly as we were the first time around. Seems like no matter what I do, I can't actually change anything around me. Then how would you explain the character routes? fair. But I haven't gotten to the character routes yet, so how would I be able to explain something that it basically doesn't exist yet? Seems like no matter what I do, I can't actually change anything around me. We're still right on course toward the end of the world. I just have to do a better job of acting in character for how everyone expects me to be right now. Still, it's impossible for me to remember the minute details of every interaction and conversation. I don't think a few changes here and there will make that much of a difference, but I'd like to avoid changing things for the worse if possible.
二人ともどこか上の空です。悪いものでも食べましたか?
Look, all I'm saying that I don't think Shu succeeds the first time around, right? Because that would be unrealistic, right? How would he be able to figure out how to stop the end of the world by only going back in time once, right? So, my thinking is this is not the first time he's gone back in time, right? Or something like that, right? This is solely based on the memory that he had with all of the girls in the art gallery, right? That's the only theory I could come up with, is that this isn't the first time he's gone back in time. This is just the first time he's remembered going back in time, right? Or something like that. Yeah. Something bad.
食べたかもしれない。
Here we go. This is where we split up. Sakuya heads off on her own, and Yune and I head back to the tree. Like, what if Shu had the power to go back in time, right, on December 25th, like the first time, and he went back to essentially what is the start of the game, right? And now he's gained the memories of the first loop, something like that. He just hasn't unlocked them or something. This is the problem, right? You ask theories, and this is my crack pipe theory that I came up with on the spot. So we split up, Sakuya heads off on her own, and Yune and I head back to the tree.
さくや、悪いんだけど先に帰ってもらってもいい?
And I once again find ourselves out under the tree, just as intended, or rather, as planned, right? Because my thinking that, you know, Yune forgot that she went back in time, so Shu forgot that he went back in time. I need to stop cooking. Am I on the right track? Next, you played the game, am I? Well, I've only done Kyrie's after story. I didn't even do anyone else's. Right. Oh, really? Okay. Never mind then. Yune and I once again find ourselves under the tree, just as intended. Neえ、
シュウは朝に言ってたよね。何が起こったのか知ってるって。
I wasn't expecting this. This conversation is a direct result of my own unexpected words this morning. I'm not sure about that. It feels like something else. I could very easily answer her question. I could tell her that what those twin apples stand for, what they mean specifically, and what I'm doing here. Like, the only thing that my theory falls apart, the only reason my theory falls apart, that how would you have gotten the power to turn back time, right? Feeling dead, and yet I need to jog my sleep. But happy National Cupcake Lovers Day, and have a chill stream stranger, right? Hello, meow. She wouldn't believe me, but perhaps knowing will convince her to work together with me. I don't care if she thinks it's ludicrous. If I tell her the truth, I know she'll believe it, at least 10% of it. I know, because that's the type of person she is. Okay, thank God he isn't trying to hide it. So, about those apples, that I begin explaining how we got here. That's the gist of it. After hearing everything, Yune stares silently at the ground, lost in thought. It's very similar to how we found ourselves the first time around.
シュウ、それって。
I know. As I try to think of something I can say to comfort her.
それってやっぱり時を巡るアンナ？
I mean, like, I know what you expected, Shu. She's a big fan of the movie. Huh?
アンナの話だよね。今朝シュウがそれっぽいこと言ってた時から気になってたんだ。
Her expression instantly brightens. This be the reaction I need.
私も実はアンナが大好きなの。でも知らなかった。シュウも好きなんて。もしかして外で見たりとか？
That's what I was about to get to. Because she thinks of the movie plot, right? She doesn't believe him. Well, heck do I say? Even after explaining everything, her original memories are still long gone. But what you can say is that, no, I watched the movie for the first time on December 24th. Right?
でも青リンゴが出てくるシーンなんてなかったよね。もしかしてアンナがモチーフの別の映画？
I'm well aware of the movie, but I'm not talking about that. You reacted to my story as if it were merely describing the movie. Considering how I just arrived, she's probably just delighted to have a common interest. What I'm trying to talk about that is the apples we ate yesterday.
嘘だ。そんな映画みたいなこと実際に起こるわけないよ。それよりさ、シュウもアンナが好きなら一緒に語ろう。私も昔から大好きで。
Oh, yeah? After all that, instead of triggering Yune's forgotten memories, I feel more disillusioned than ever, like I'm trapped in a nightmare. Oddly enough, the movie somehow describes our situation to a T. The more I struggle to tell the truth, the more ridiculous it sounds. This is why you should have proven that you've gone back in time by essentially bringing up a future event, and then when that happens, you're like, yeah, I told you it would happen, or something like that. Ooh. After spending all afternoon discussing the movie with Yune, I finally returned to my room. I made several attempts to convince her of the truth, but ultimately had to give up because I thought I'd gone bonkers. If we could somehow avoid the seemingly inevitable, then so be it. Nothing's unraveling yet, so far as I can tell. Seems more natural that way. I'm the only one living with the knowledge of the dark fate awaiting us. I'm sorry, Yune. If only we could avoid that tragic ending. If only Yune could be allowed to live happily ever after, like she wished for. Actually, okay. Dexter, how long was Kyrie's after story? Because knowing the length of Kyrie's after story, I don't remember. Okay. You know who else doesn't remember? Who doesn't remember? At least the first time around. Like, alright. I was hoping to determine how long the common route was. Yeah. The next day, the first Tuesday since I arrived here, which means it's gym class. It snowed just like Yune said it would. Mr. Lily tells us we're free to use the time we want.
おはようございます。皆さん。今日は体育の予定でしたが、雪が積もりましたので。
Yeah, so like, see, this is even more proof that Sakuya was never uncomfortable with Shu, because literally the next day after, literally the next day, as in today, Sakuya and Shu sit right next to each other in an igloo. Unless the CG doesn't happen this time.
とします。
Like the first time. Now what should I do? Yeah, now what should I do? I can't just keep following the script the way it's written. My goal above all else is to somehow change the town's predestined future. I need to find out what the initial trigger is. Gym class is cancelled. I'm free to spend the hour how I want. I can't waste this. I could figure out the source for the fires or plan an evacuation route. I knew it was gonna happen again. I couldn't not show Sakuya's best CG at the moment. It sure is. I'll let the scene play out as the first time while I come up with a plan of action. Thanks. It's rare for me to get a chance to spend some time alone with Sakuya. I still remember this day like it was yesterday. It's such a seemingly trivial moment in time, and yet it means so much to me. Yeah, it meant so much that there's a CG for it. I have to be careful. What I say. I don't want to destroy my relationship with everyone. The ones I built with everyone up until Christmas. All of that was reset with the town's ultimate demise. If I want to reforge them with everyone, all I need to do is stick to the script. Well, considering that when he diverged from the script, his relationship with Yune has strengthened more than the first time around, so like, you know. I have the length of the common round, 9 hours. But that means I have dragged this out for 2. Did it all by yourself?
ギドウ先輩に手伝ってもらいました。
Like if you add up all of the hours in the VODs, right? I have definitely passed like what, 18 hours. That means it's very important for me to remember how this goes. Although slight deviations shouldn't matter in the long run. run. I can't get yesterday's incident out of my mind. I can't act too familiar. It's only been a week since we met for the first time. Yeah, but like, how are you not going to be able to... How are you telling me that you can't act familiar, too familiar, when you're literally sitting right next to each other? That might be until the Kyrie choice, right? That is what it means by common route, so... I have to strike the perfect balance between not acting overly friendly, while also acting just friendly enough. It's hard acting naturally whilst simultaneously keeping all that in mind.
先輩どうしました？
Oh, it's nothing. Ito made some sort of snow golem, didn't he?
今ちょうどその話をしようとしてたところなんですが、あれ？
Crap. I had been so focused on the script in my head that I read the next line before it happened. This is hard. Almost too hard. If I flub this up, we won't be as close as we were before, and I don't want that. Sorry. Actually, I saw him building it earlier.
なんだ、そうだったんですね。
The best part about this, that Saki is a lot louder than the first time. There are shorter routes you have to do first, I think. But, okay. Now, thanks to my ridiculous mistake, I no longer know what Saki is going to say. I had to recheck. Well, yeah, there's the non-romantic endings for the characters. That's what you have to go through first. Perhaps it's for the best. Our conversation will flow more naturally. In the end, we're able to share a peaceful moment together. If I remember correctly, I went to check on Yune's rehearsal session next. No, guide. You do Kyrie's romance route first. Oh, right. I remember that. This was before I offered to help play the organ for her. Oh, wait. I was hoping Yune might be here.
ユネか。ユネは普段チャペルにいるけど、今日は外で見かけたな。
Why is she outside? Actually, while on the hunt for the elusive Yune, I end up running into Yuji in the atelier. In the interest of not causing some kind of butterfly effect, I should just follow the script for now. Yeah, but you've already broken from the script when you told Yune that... When you talked to Yune about the girl who jumped through time. I can't forget about my original goal, but my friendships are equally important to me too. I'll switch things up later. Then, as if pretending this is my first read-through, I let Yuji tell me where Yune is. I find Yune practicing and re-establish the same friendship we had the first time. Well, not like your re-established friendship is not stronger because you talked about the girl who jumped through time with her. Like she thinks more highly of you now than the last playthrough. That night. Okay, last time I spent the evening practicing, but not this time. Clandestine strategy meeting with only one person in attendance. Hey, don't write the bird out of it. They are an integral member meeting. Yune should be here with me, but unfortunately she doesn't remember anything. Just like Noah, I find myself left to put together a plan on my own. To be fair, I wouldn't be here if Olive wouldn't be here at all if it wasn't for Yune sending us flying back through time. Our goal is to save the town, even if Yune doesn't exactly remember it. A part of me feels like I merely dreamed the first timeline, although the fact that everyone's actions and words have been reset proves otherwise. Her losing her memories seems like a condition for time travel. The reason we have to save the town is because of an apocalyptic tragedy that occurs on Christmas. Catastrophic flames fanned by a fierce wind engulf everything in town in scorching heat. Aurora originally acted as a firewall, ultimately traps everyone inside the burning town. Wait. How does the fire travel across the pavement? I mean, good question. But, you know, there was a lot of flammable shit around there. As it says, there are so many questions and so few answers, just like any Genshin lorehead. First, what caused the fires to begin with? Were they natural or man-made? All I saw were the veritable pillars of fire ravaging the town, but there could have been more going on, like a huge earthquake or a seismic shift. What caused those fires? If I could figure that out, I could plan how to deal with them, but of course that's mainly why I'm here. Keeping the town safe is why I traveled through time in the first place. Why did it happen? Both the fires themselves and what caused them are unclear to me right now. Could technically be safe if you stand in the center, right? Yeah, but like the heat transfer would still, like, burn you. Right? Slow and painful. Is my only option to methodically comb through town for anything flammable and destroy it? Well, that's a lot of town to destroy then. First target was Savetta, then the academy, the shopping district, and finally our dorms. There seemed to be an order. Considering each fire was marked by the sound of a blast and an earthquake, it's reasonable to assume they were caused by explosions. There's a chance it was just some unknown active volcano nearby that erupted. In other words, a natural disaster. If that's true, then all we can do is make a more effective contingency plan and hope for the best. If the blaze started from a tiny accident, then better fire safety precautions should be sufficient. The coincidence that it happened on Christmas, though? That a volcano just happened to erupt exactly on Christmas seems almost too good to be true. The day itself doesn't mean anything, although there's no denying how important it is here. Everyone's celebrating throughout town. There were far more open flames like candles than usual. That bonfire, surrounded by crowds of people, was an accident waiting to happen. One careless person is all it takes for a small fire to spread out of control. It makes sense. That still doesn't explain the seemingly prearranged nature of the fires. Seriously? Not again.
商店街
What I'm unable to remember the exact interval between each fire, but they definitely felt like explosions. Explosions. When I think of explosions, there's only one girl who comes to mind. I mean, yeah, but, you know, that's too easy of an answer to not be a red herring. And the fact of the matter is, I have no idea where she was that night. Finding Kyrie's hat is what drove me over the edge into hopeless despair. I really don't want to believe the worst. Is there a natural phenomenon that could somehow cause successive explosions? Regardless, the town's completely ill-equipped to deal with fires if they have never had one. Lily is the person to go to this. Yeah, is the person to go to for this type of concern. Fire of that magnitude is way beyond someone accidentally tipping over a candle. What if it was set on purpose? Arson. There's a possibility someone set the fires on purpose because it was Christmas. Although the implication is horrifying, I have to come up with the escape route, keeping the course of events from that long night in mind. If only I knew the origin of the fires. Got here. Fire? How did this happen?
余裕もないから結論から言うが、知らねえ。ただ、どでかい音がして飛び出てみたらこのありさまだ。
He'd been in the school when it caught fire, but he had no idea where it started or why. None of the panicked people rushing past us in the streets were of much use either. Where was everyone else when all this went down? The three of us stuck together all night, but I never saw our other friends ever again. Kyrie, Sakia, Kido, and Kotoha during that blazing madness. Sakia was in the shopping district, Kyrie was in the dorms, Kotoha was probably in the Kido was in the Veta. That's my assumption. They were originally in the atelier setting up for Yune's party. Perhaps they went to a safe place Yuji didn't know about. Does the town even have someone like that? No, because they've never faced any natural disasters. Suddenly I know what I have to do first. In that case... Kotoha jump scare. Kotoha seems honestly surprised for once. It's probably because of the question I asked her.
火事が起こった時に出動する仕事?
Right. I can't remember what they're called exactly, but basically when a fire happens, they go and put it out. There's still so much I don't know about the town's geography and culture. I figured it might help if I get some answers from my friends. Like I'm some hard-boiled detective. I mean, you're definitely hard-boiled in the never mind.
ないかな?
I thought so. Right upon seeing Kotoha in front of the dorms, I invited her up to my room. I asked Yune, but keeping her unique situation in mind, I'd rather not talk about fires around her.
にしても随分急というか、何かあったの?
I had a bad dream last night.
なるほどね。
It'd be easier if I could just tell people like Noah did, but no one's going to believe. But no one's going to believe it was a confused outsider got up less than a week ago. Besides, no one believed Noah when he told them, so I decided it'd be best to simply ask around for information that might be helpful. You've never had a fire or anything like that before here in town?
私の知っている限りでは食堂でボヤが起きたことはあったね。その時は先生方が出動した。
I'll teach.
男の先生が中心になってね、消火器を扱っていた覚えがある。
Fire extinguisher.
あ、消火器はわかる？廊下にあるやつなんだけど。
I know it.
だから私たちも消火に協力することができるというんじゃ、シュウ君の望む答えにはなってないかな。
Yeah, a tiny extinguisher isn't going to do much against a cataclysmic vortex of fire. In other words, the town is completely fucked. I mean, unprepared for any sort of large-scale disaster. Makes sense to not be prepared for something that never happened in the history of the town. I mean, yeah, that's why they've never needed phones. They've never needed to talk to people over a large distance for emergency reasons. Are there people trained to deal with large fires? I feel like there are. But I can't remember. I have this vague hunch. At all means there's a high chance people like that do exist outside. Are there earthquakes here?
たまに。あまり大きな揺れは経験したことがないけど、強いと机なんかも揺れるらしいね。
Damn, that's crazy, especially since they're in Japan, you know, a country that's literally in between tectonic plates. So, you can get pretty big earthquakes. An earthquake strong enough to make a desk shudder is honestly still very small. This seems to be a problem based on simple geography. It'll be hard convincing folks of a cataclysmic quake. They don't really happen here. But there were earthquakes on the 25th. Not very big ones, but still.
つまりシュウ君は未曾有の災害に対する備えのことを言いたいのかな。
Yes, exactly. And I chose to grill Kotaha first was due to her intellect and ability to read people. Although lacking in knowledge of the outside world, I knew she'd figure out what I wanted to say. Let's say, hypothetically speaking, the town was struck by some unforeseen disaster. We're completely unprepared, right?
ノアの箱舟のような？
No. Not necessarily that specific. Not necessarily that specifically, but yeah. That everyone seems to reference the Bible so freely. There is part of. So freely here is part of what makes this place so unique. But because they referenced the Bible, right? They talked a lot about Revelations, aka the rapture, right? So, hypothetically speaking, you can say this to Kotaha. Hypothetically speaking, what if, let's say, the apocalypse happened in this place like it did 101 years ago outside? Right? That is the thing, right? I am curious if, you know, they do have measures to safeguard people in case of the apocalypse happening here, right? Like the art gallery. Actually, yeah, that's a good point, isn't it? The art gallery is underground, right? And the art gallery was something that existed 101 years ago when people would have been extremely paranoid about if the apocalypse was to ever hit this town, right? So they built the art gallery underground like a kind of bunker, safeguard not only the art, but also the people. Dexter, am I on the right track? I'm just spitballing here. It's very different from Japan, that's for sure. Yes? Okay. Thank God I got something right.
でも確かに火事なんか起きて作品が燃えたら大変だよね。
Oh, yeah? I'm more concerned over the loss of life than some dusty art, but I guess our priorities are different. Hang on a minute. But maybe that's the angle I need to take. A single fire could destroy not only the local piece, but also everything in the art gallery.
ああ、でも美術回廊は完全な防火対策がされているとは聞いたよ。
Okay, listen, all I'm saying is that I thought about it before they brought it up, so I'm big brain. Listen, I put the pieces together before all of them were in my inventory. What? It took a while, but now we're getting somewhere. That's exactly what I wanted to hear.
万が一のことがあっては困る場所だからね。火事とか洪水とか災害の備えは万全らしい。
And the door into the gallery is fortified. So the gallery is waterproof and fireproof. Being underground would certainly help protect someone from raging fires. Do floods happen often around here? I don't see how they would, considering that floods happen from either excess rain or a tsunami. And, well, tsunamis are impossible because the ice wall would protect everyone from that ever happening. And, well, I guess if they don't have good plumbing, they don't have a good drainage system, I mean, yeah, that'd be a good way to start a flood.
世界が滅ぶようなものじゃないよ。ただちょっと大雨が来て水かさが溢れて。
No one can get out because of the aurora.
うん。だから水は湖の方に流れてあの時はとんでもない大きさになってたよ。
Town is connected to Aneto in a lot of ways. The Lily called it a caldera lake. These cauldron-shaped lakes exist all over the world. I thought the fires were bad enough, but flooding too? How safe is this town anyway? Well, considering that the only two natural disasters that exist would be, well, actually, no, earthquake and flooding is the only two natural disasters that can occur, right? And, I mean, an underground bunker is pretty safe with both of them. It doesn't seem safe at all to me. But, like, you can say that about any place in the world. The lack of resources and planning make any disaster catastrophic thanks to the aurora.
シュウ君の見た悪夢はどんなのだった？
The rapture, just say that. Easy. Well, flames so fierce, they lit up the night sky as plain as day.
それは恐ろしいね。そうなったら美術回廊に逃げ込むのがまだ安全かな。
Would an underground bunker be safe against earthquakes? I mean, yeah, the scariest places for an earthquake is high up. So, you'd want to be furthest to the ground, as closest to the ground as possible, and away from any other, like, all structures that may collapse on top of you, right? So an underground bunker would be free from both things, right? Like what wouldn't an underground bunker be good for? Like, I don't know, rat station. The black. I mean, okay, an underground bunker would be very shit for an outbreak, right? Because the point of an underground bunker is to have multiple people stay in a safe place, right? So if there's one person who is infected, and then the infection spreads to multiple people, right? Well, it's guaranteed to spread to multiple people, right? If it's not contained immediately. That makes me feel a lot better. Thanks. The place to escape to. The only thing left is how to extinguish fires. Well, that's the thing though. Because the fires would naturally extinguish themselves when they don't have anything to ignite, right? So the only thing with that would be time. Unless, it starts raining. But then again, it did start snowing. So that would have helped a little. That all? I mean, I'm sure there are other use cases that underground bunkers would not be able to prevent, but most natural disasters and also man-made disasters can be prevented, can be protected. And yeah, right? Like the first thing you think of when you think of nuclear war, other than how many people it'll kill, is how safe underground bunkers would be against it, right? Now, I feel a lot better having evacuation plan in place. May 12th. Morning. I bunked my alarm clock to shut it off and am greeted by the usual mechanical chirp of a dove.
クルッククルック。ただいま12月5日水曜日7時30分。
It's been exactly a week since I woke up here. The first time, at least. It's actually been more than a month and a week, from my perspective. It's Wednesday, which means we have a film class to look forward to. Rely on the days and the dates to help trigger specific memories. Although it's impossible for me to remember every detail, it gives me a rough idea of what lies ahead. Reminds me.
おーいシュー起きたか
Kyrie? I can hear Kyrie's voice from somewhere far away.
悪いんだけど私の部屋からハンドクリーム取ってきてくれ
Oh, right. This is the day where Kyrie's brushing Kotaha's hair. But that's right. He's yelling down from Kotaha's room. The problem comes with random incidents like this one, which I don't associate with a specific date. I didn't either. So, same brain cell. As long as I more or less stick to the script, everything will be fine.
サンキューなそこに置いといてくれ
Sure. I arrived to find Kyrie once again brushing out Kotaha's hair.
いらっしゃいシュウくん散らかっててすまないね
underground storm shelters aren't flood resistant. After the tornado has passed, heavy rain can occur, becoming a problem for underground storm shelters. What can destroy a bunker? Armor-piercing shells, aircraft, livid bombs, buzzing, missiles, nuclear. Fusing. Buzzing. Fusing. Alright, it's one Z, so it's fusing. Okay. But like, why are there so many underground bunkers all over the world that are storing like cheese and seeds? Those are the only two things that I've seen underground bunkers being made for. And I mean, Doomsday Preppers is an entire fucking TV show about people building underground bunkers in case of nuclear war, right? Yeah, it looks fine to me. Is that weird? I can't remember how close we were at this point, and I have no idea what I said here the first time. We'll break down some of the misconceptions and help you find the best shelter to give you. Though many people have thought that underground shelters are safer than above ground in the past, our research proves that above ground shelters are actually much safer. I mean, yeah, I guess, right? Because, well, I'm not sure. You didn't hear that, all right? That didn't happen, all right? In the recording, right? That didn't happen. In the video when this eventually comes out, that didn't happen. Cutting. Misconceptions about above ground shelters. Tornadoes can blow above ground shelters right off the concrete slab. This is far from the truth. Really, I never would have guessed. You're telling me that people who made above ground shelters would not have taken into account the fact that tornadoes would be able to may or may not occur around them? Underground storm shelters are much safer than above ground shelters. When you stop to think about it, your underground storm shelters actually offer more benefit and safety than properly constructed and certified above ground shelters. I think not. There is no data that backs the idea that underground shelters provide a significant advantage over above ground safe rooms. Well, I'm glad that you don't have this sort of data, because it would be pretty scary it'd be pretty scary if you did. Many below ground safe rooms pose a lot of potential hazards that could possibly outweigh their benefits. The one thing being the potential for debris falling onto the door of your shelter could result in you being trapped inside. Additionally, below ground shelters are often located outdoors, which means when disaster strikes, you'll have to venture out into bad weather just to reach your shelter. Imagine trying to navigate extreme winds and flying debris, along with pouring rain, and then having to open the door, get your family inside, and then secure the door. It seems like a lot of hassle. But like, wouldn't above ground shelters be the same? Lastly, below ground shelters are often exposed to cracking, which leads to flooding. They aren't good 100%. Yeah, but like, wouldn't that be the same with above ground shelters? Might accumulate an insect or vermin problem, a problem you don't want to face during extreme weather. Yeah, but like, there's a comparison between above ground shelters and underground shelters. Both of these just sound... All of these points against underground shelters just sound exactly the same as points against above ground shelters. Right? You get my point. Whatever you decide, choose, get the valley different. When it comes to finding the best shelter for your home, you want to choose a manufacturer who actually cares about structural integrity. Valley Storm's Shelters is a leading designer and manufacturer of above-ground shelters. Oh, now I understand why they're advocating for above-ground shelters so much. Because they're literally advertising for themselves. This Valley Storm's shelter. You linked me to Valley Storm's shelter, and they're talking about how above ground shelters are better because they literally make them. Like, you could not get more biased than that. No wonder they advocated above ground shelters so much. That's for the VOD. That's only for the VOD watchers. You know what well, very a bit quiet there. Just lower the music. Yes. Yes, it's better. I feel like I've watched this exact scene play out once before. Really? Yeah, these two go through the same motions every day. What I'm seeing is just a tiny glimpse of their daily lives. Exact moment, Hina and Saki are busy doing who knows what. People I've never met are doing things that will set the wheel of fate turning, leading us down a path of our eventual doom. In something somewhere that will ultimately trigger the end of the world. Still, I can't give up. I might only have a tiny view of the world, but I will do whatever I can to prevent our tragic ending from happening. This is the first time, original me at least, seeking a film that ends up being a snooze fest. Oh, the movie ended. I posted a normal video in me there. It is. What is the bagel trolling? But I'm actually in their room. Well, we can watch that next time. Once school ends, I meet up with Yune, and I help her practice. Then afterwards, walk back together. Is it usually this quiet? When we get back, I take a bath and eat dinner. Finally, I end up back in my room, just like any other day. Sucks. I don't have as much free time as I thought. Hoping to take some time to explore the town today, but it was evening before I knew it. Everyone wants to spend time with me. It's hard getting time by myself to do things on my own. Or rather, I need to make sure our friendship friendships stay the way they were. When my friends ask to walk home together or take a bath together, I can't say no. If I end up being able to change our fate and friendships I'm cultivating, well, will be very important. Moderation is important, though. You need to take some time for yourself. I only have 20 days until disaster strikes. Once I build enough trust with everyone, I can move on to my personal project. I hear a knock on my door instead of the window. My mystery visitor can only be...
お邪魔します。
You're more than welcome, Sakia.
は
Saki is staring at me. I misjudged our level of friendship yet again.
あ、
What's wrong?
枕カバー買ったんですね。
Yeah, I did. Just yesterday, in fact. I was so used to sleeping in a pillowcase that I couldn't get comfortable without one, so I brought it right away.
ないかと思って持ってきてあげましたのに。
Sorry. Sakia made my original pillowcase specifically for me. However, since I couldn't directly ask her to make another, I ended up buying a placeholder.
まあ良いです。それよりシュウ先輩がここに来て今日で1週間ですね。
What do you think about those? They're funny? I guess you're right. I know what she's going to say to me, but I have to pretend like I'm hearing it all for the first time. Our interaction feels so empty. I can't help feeling like I'm lying to her, leading her on.
なんだかもっと経っているような気がしますよね。
Sometimes it does. I remember saying a similar line before, although it's not just a figure of speech this time. Well, Saki is visiting my room just like she did last time. Then that means she must be getting closer. We must be getting closer. You don't say.
最近の先輩はどうも話している最中ぼーっとしている気がします。
Oh, sorry, I'm just wondering how big a... how a first grader's tits are bigger than Kyrie's. I mean... What? I'm totally paying attention, and definitely not staring at the two giant personalities on her chest. I mean... Team Saki is more sensitive to subtle shifts in behavior than I give her credit for. That she noticed me acting like we closer than we are is only part of it. She was always ready with a quirky reply no matter what I say.
先輩、また遠い目をしています。
Nothing. There's no reason for her to believe anything I say. Best I let her continue living a blissful ignorance. Thus the curtain closes on yet another peaceful, familiar moment between us. Hey look, it's the 12th of June. I mean, the 12th of July. It's early morning. There's still time before my alarm clock is set to go off. Huh? Huh? I'm awoken by an incessant banging. My brain goes into high alert, sent into a panic by the unexpected commotion. Don't tell me the fires are starting already. I mean, Kyrie, so, you know, not far off. There's a chance the original catastrophe isn't limited to Christmas evening. Those dark premonitions swell through my mind.
開けろーほら時間だぞ
My memories come flooding back as soon as I spot the annoying brat on my balcony. Yeah, well, you're choosing that annoying brat first as your route.
というわけでキリエのドッキリ絵プロジェクト
Yay! 6 in the morning on December 6th. Time to put Kyrie's hellish plan into motion. She's practically bursting with excitement, completely unaware of how this will all turn out. Yeah, well, you can change the outcome of how it will turn out. Give up now. There's no way this will work.
うるせえなするわけねえだろ私の計画は完璧だ
They're definitely not. There's no way I can go through this again. Especially knowing every single one of her plans ends in humiliating defeat.
ほら今日のために買い出し頼んどいたろ出せ
Oops, I forgot all about that.
なに
The original conversation happened before December 2nd. I'd completely forgotten about the list of items she needed me to get. Well, no point in doing it now. Might as well head back to bed.
なめてんのかてめえ
Eep. It's no use. Kyrie's rage is still very much alive and kicking. By the time I've returned with a shovel, class has already begun and Yune is long gone. I told you it wouldn't work.
お前のせいじゃ
I swear, Dexter is getting off to getting berated by Kyrie. With no one to vent her anger on, Kyrie's rage only deepens.
よしいいなお前は死神になって昨夜の前に出てしょんべんちびらせるんだ
How did you know? I wonder why. Maybe it's because this is what happened the first time. I also went back in time. He's going to know it's me.
大丈夫だボイスチェンジャーも用意してるどっから見てもバレようがね
He'll recognize me immediately. Is there anything I can do differently? Honestly, I don't care if she knows it's me or not, as I'd prefer to not get peed on. Excuse me? As I'd prefer not getting peed on. I'm literally about to do the same thing I did the first time around. What? What happened the last time? Oh, I really don't have time for this.
うだうだうるせえなそんなに課題溜まってんなら手伝ってやっから
It's not homework.
課題じゃない週なんか他にやることあんのか制作
Oh crap, what do I say? I have to save the world?
くだらねえ言い訳
I mean, he's not. He is. But it's the worst excuse. I'm being serious, but I'm not sure if I should tell her. Knowing Kyrie, she'll think I've gone off the deep end for sure.
昨夜まだ来ねえから付き合ってやるけどその世界を救うヒーロー様はどんな悪者をやっつけるんだ
There's no villain. It's more like a disaster. I have to save everyone from the end of the world. I end up admitting the laughably bizarre truth. I decide to tell her the truth whether she believes it or not.
どうやって
I'm still figuring that part out.
使えねえヒーロー
He's not necessarily wrong. Right now, all I can do is wait and keep an eye out for fires. I'll sacrifice myself if that's what it takes. Yeah, but if you do that, then Yune will... Actually, I don't know what would happen. Because if Shu kills himself, Yune would still go back in time, right? I'm prepared to become a test dummy for Kyrie's new slimy bombs if it means I can put a stop to Operation You've Been Pranked. Oh no, I'm too slippery. I can't get up. 12:11. A day to remember. What? Tuesday, December 11. The day of our epic kick the can game, knowing everyone's throw in rock, paper, scissors. I'm about to avoid being it.
さてと、これで全員かな。琴葉さん強すぎ。早すぎて追いつけません。でもさすがに足なら陽次くんの方が早いんじゃないかな。
あそこのフェイントにやられた。
I'd always felt it was impossible to win as is, and yet Kotaha managed to catch all of us in no time at all. You'd always race back when you thought you were safe, and she was good at fighting people.
最初に見つかったシュウが次の鬼だな。
What? It again?
また？
I mean...
初めてでしょ？
You're right. I've never been in before. Don't listen to me. That was a close one. I reacted without thinking.
じゃあ散らばるから1分数えたらスタートな。
I'm definitely going to win this time. Seems like I can't escape fate. Huh? Come to think of it, I feel like I'm forgetting something. Just as the thought crosses my mind, I spy something. The drug! He says this as loud as possible. Use the plotter that soaked through with hallucinogen. The first time around, I had no idea what it was, but this time, I remember what Kotaha told me. Really, I wonder why you remembered. Maybe it's because this is an important plot point, and it would be annoying if you forgot. Take it. I'm sure it belongs to someone. Plus, it's dangerous. I remember my trip with Kotaha to Oneto to dispose of it, and figure it's best to stick with the script. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get away with feigning ignorance this time around, but considering my distaste for drugs from my outside life. What?
シュウ君？何か変なものでもあった？
Well, looks like the script has actually changed. Kotaha should not be here. Ito should be here. Yeah, take a look at this. Despite being in the middle of a game, Kotaha calls out to me, noticing my unusual behavior. I call a timeout before showing her the blotter.
これはごめん、少し預かってもいいかな。
Isn't 9/11 a day to remember? That was... Look, I'm not gonna say that was the joke, but... Take it as you will. Sure. I hand the drug over to Kotaha.
体育が終わったらまた話すね。
With the blotter dealt with, I get the same explanations as last time. Yeah, but did you win the can kicking game? That's the most important thing. Well, guess we'll never know. Surely, Shu will remember that. Well, okay, wait, no. Shu will remember about the muralist, and he'll remember that Sakuya discovered a second mural on the park wall, right? Surely. It's the day of December when I first heard about the case of the mystery muralist.
これは謎の壁画事件の第8章。間違いありませんね、リリー先生。
The mysterious muralist. I ask even though I already know the answer.
街のどこかで不定期に謎の壁画が描かれる悪質な事件だ。犯人は未だ捕まっていない。
I felt everything was a bit quieter, so I checked the mixer, and I mean, it was a bit lower than usual, but still shouldn't have been as quiet as. Yeah, anyway. Let's just change the audio. If I remember correctly, another mural is discovered right around the 20th. With that in mind, maybe there's a way to stop him before he strikes again. True. Right? Because he knows when the muralist strikes again and where, so he'll might be able to catch him. Are you tired? No. Who's behind this and why is he doing it?
さあ、でもこういうのって単なる憂さ晴らしじゃないのかな。
Not wanting to draw too much attention to myself, I decide to stick to the script. I doubt this has anything to do with the fires, at least. Well, you don't know. It's a mystery that needs to be solved, don't you think? I decide that I'll try to catch him in the act if I get the chance. I mean, you know when he's gonna strike next, so... You know. Jesus. So we going for the 4-hour mark? Fine. You know what? Sure. We're back in film class watching one of Kyrie's beloved action movies. Where in the heck did they film this? It's definitely not anywhere around here. Everyone else seems to think otherwise though. I remember arguing with them about it last time, but this time I decided to let it go. Yeah, but like, aren't you going to ask Sister Lily? Everyone seems less stressed when I avoid bringing up the outside wall anyway. Retracting the steps I took the first time makes it easier for me to see how much I don't fit in. Yeah. I mean, the happy, peaceful lives Yune and Kyrie led before I showed up made me realize they're better off without having my taboo ideas inflicted on them. It's almost like I'm taking a natural step back. I had no idea what was going on first time through, so I rushed into everything blindly. With my improved knowledge of the town, I find myself hesitating to bring up differences between us, not wanting to accidentally trample on their beliefs. Perhaps my entire attitude has changed since my initial experience living here. This time, I'm holding back more than before. 12, 13, 14. Oh, there it is. December 14th. I spend the afternoon with Yune in the gallery. This time, unlike before, I'm already aware Yune is the voice behind the audio guide.
こっちが
Kyoto.
あれが
Definitely. I don't know why I have to read these. I can't read Italian. I think it's what it is. Don't quote me on that. It's definitely Mustachio Mario.
すごいねシュウ。いつの間に詳しくなったの？
Last time loop. Just picked it up here and there. I can't tell her. It's thanks to her lovely voice. I don't find out about the audio guide or that she voiced it until today. Things go so much more smoothly between us when I pretend not to know anything. Acting blissfully ignorant is honestly the best approach, except for the fact that you aren't acting ignorant because you're telling her the names of the artists who drew the pieces. Art sketched. Art painted. However, I can't help but feel increasingly guilty. $15. Then 16. And then 17. Wow, I never would have guessed. Uh,
クッククック。ただいま12月17日月曜日
damn.
7時30分。
Dude's really doing a whole lot of nothing. The 17th already. Crap, there's only a week left until Christmas Eve. I've been scoping out the town as best as I could, but without any real success. The way things are going, the chances I can stop our Christmas tragedy from happening is slim. I've checked every place I can think of. I'm out of ideas. $18th and 19th. Never mind. We're watching movie. Or not.
お互いの顔を描いてみましょう。
Not this time. But this time Shu will be better at painting Yune's face. Unless he gets... Wait. Hang on a minute. Isn't this when they talk about the muralist again? But then Shu said it happened on the 20th. I don't remember this day. Yes? Okay, I was gonna say, like... Then like... Interesting. It's Tuesday, and we're gathered in the atelier since gym class was cancelled again. We're studying... portraiture, and have been paired up in order to practice drawing faces. I'd been originally paired with Yune, but this time...
おい、動くな。瞬きすな。
Uh-oh. That's completely absurd. How did I get stuck with you?
なんだ、不満か？
Not necessarily, no. We'd pulled straws to decide pairs, and the luck of the draw meant I ended up with Kyrie. I'm close enough to both girls that it shouldn't matter who I'm paired with, but I'm still grumpy. I almost forgot in the original timeline I passed out last night. Wataru say, oh, my head. And now he can't do the same thing today because imagine he fakes passing out.
シュウシュ
Since we somehow avoided repeating the conversation this time around, I successfully avoided getting triggered. Not that it matters since I still remember everything like it happened yesterday.
そういえば今日またあの落書き犯出たの知ってる？
See? Okay, so Shu's just an idiot. Yune's voice cuts through the silent atelier. It was found in the park this time, not the school. Sister Lily immediately takes off to clean it up.
よっしゃ先生がいねえなら好きにサボれるぜ。
Don't you dare. I'm still not done drawing your face yet.
捉えられるもんなら捉えてみな。
Fine, I'll just draw from memory. First, your beard.
待って私ヒゲないよ。
Sister Lily returns at roughly the same time she did originally, by which point I've succeeded in getting Kyrie's face down on paper. I hear a lot of rap against my window. Kyrie again, or so I think, but when I turn to the window I realize it's someone else. Yeah, it's Sakuya.
開けてください。
Oh, I never would have guessed. It's almost like this is when Kyrie breaks his fucking clock. His clock. I mean, Sakuya, what are you doing here? While I open my window and wonder what's going on, Kyrie follows behind her.
邪魔すんで。キリエ先輩はいつもこうやって降りてるんですね。羨ましい。
What are you two doing together? Oh. The CG.
シャッター。お邪魔するね、シュウ君。
This is a very holly jolly moment. I forgot Kotoha was with them. They hid to discuss Yune's surprise birthday party with me. They immediately confirm my suspicion, and they start talking.
時にシュウ先輩、来週は何の日かお分かりですか？
I know it's actually Yune's birthday. It's Christmas.
ブブー。
What? How can I be wrong? Oh my lord. Save me, Jesus.
なんか嘘くせえリアクションだな。だいぶわざとらしいね。
The wording is slightly different, but basically this is when I first learn about Yune's birthday.
プレゼントを用意しておいてくださいね。ヨネ先輩がうんと喜ぶような。
Oh, no problem.
ほう。
What?
あ、いえ。何か当てがあるのかなって。
Oh. I'd been so caught up in trying to remember the conversation that I forgot I'd made a fuss originally. There's no way I can follow the script perfectly. You know, just do you know, you'll get it right on your second time loop. There's no point worrying about it now, so I try to say something that sounds natural. I'll figure something out. I've got a couple ideas.
ほう。期待しています。さくやはどうせ服だろ。いいよな、自分で作れて。手作りは真心もこもりますし、最適なのです。
I never got to hand her my gift. I still have no idea if I chose something good or not. This time, I'm going to make sure she gets it. This time, we're going to celebrate both the Culture Festival and Yune's birthday. I won't let fate ruin this special day again. Fate is going to ruin the special day again, isn't it? The 19th. It's Wednesday. Film class. Is this the girl who leapt through time video one? I think so. This is the day we watched that famous film, The Girl Who Jumped Through Time. Protagonist Anna is trapped in a time loop until the boy of her dreams falls in love with her. Plot seemed so contrived the first time around, but this time it's far more relatable. Yeah, I know how you feel. It's all well and good to be given a second chance, but how do you know what went wrong the first time? Yeah, but like, you know, Anna's conflict, Anna's goal is a lot more different than saving the world. I find myself strangely empathetic to Anna's plight. Doubt there's many who know the problems faced via time travel as intimately as I do. Then the movie ends. The girl who fucked through time. Yeah, that's the hentai version.
どうだ？感動しただろ？
That was a masterpiece.
だろ？当たり前だよね。私とシュウは一緒にあんなトークで盛り上がったんだから。
Don't expose him.
何？そんなことしてたのか？いいな。ね、シュウ、感動しちゃうよね。
Yeah, I know how you feel almost too well.
意外かも。シュウもああいう恋愛したことあるの？
What? What now? What now? I couldn't care less about the romance part. What I really empathized with was the time traveling.
アンナの気持ちがわかるってんだからそうなんだろ？きっとシュウは百戦錬磨なんだ。
They were like, why are you saying it? Why are you saying it like that?
嘘。そういうことだったの？
Because it's not. I don't think so, at least. I can't say for sure, and one way or another because of my lingering amnesia. That only comes up as a joke nowadays. Is there a chance I left behind a girlfriend in the outside world? No way, right? Let's hope not. Plagued by doubt, I carefully chose my words before I say them, just like Anna. Well, considering that it's getting a lot closer to the day, Dexter, how many times does he loop? There we go. The camera's ready. Today's the day I shoot my photos for the festival. With my deadline looming, I don't really have time to waste. How many? Yeah, how many times is the month repeated? A lot. Okay, I was gonna say. I've planned out my route, so all I need to do is follow it. The academy, outside the dorm, the plaza in the shopping district. Realized every single shot I took was a point of origin for the fires that night. Oh. Yeah, but not Savetta, right? Including routes. Excuse me? I feel like I'm going around taking crime scene photos. Maybe I'll find a clue while I'm out. Thought crosses my mind as I leave the dorm. Yeah, but like, you know, you won't. You don't even have a starting point, that's the problem. Palindrome. 1221.
さあ、文化祭前最後の平日だよ。
Ooh, let's make it a performance to remember. December 21st, our final day of rehearsal in the chapel before her performance. I'll play my heart out so I can make sure Yune is ready to go. I'm sorry I had to miss some of your practices.
私の都合なんだから、シュウが謝る必要ないでしょ?
I'd been able to participate in more practice sessions in the original timeline. Yeah, but like, your relationship overall is stronger in this one. Not that it makes a difference, since he doesn't remember any of that.
今日もシュウがいてくれなかったら伴奏なしだったんだから。本当に感謝してるんだよ。
Thanks for the hydrate. It's my pleasure. I want to make sure you give the best performance you can in the stretch. I'll make sure she's around for more performances to come. I want her to be able to live happily ever after without incident. One, two, two, two. If only that one wasn't there, it'd be 2222. Okay. It's December 22nd, and my weekend's been busy getting ready for Christmas Eve. In a way, this date marks the beginning of the end for me. Town's Christmas carnage is getting uncomfortably closer by the minute. There's a high chance the impetus of the fires will go into motion soon, and I need to start warning folks. You need to start warning folks. The first stop is the shopping district. They're already starting to get set up for Christmas. Every shop sells their food for a ruin on Christmas. With the prospect of crowds taking advantage of such a deal, they must have to stock up. Hey, Jack.
あ、やあ、シュウ君。いらっしゃい。
Jack's a familiar face, and easy to talk to. I'm sure whatever I tell Jack will quickly reach the other stores, and he has far more credibility than I do. There's been a lot more fires than usual at Palm Dorms recently. The bald-faced lie. So, it's the only way I can think of to raise the alarm about the fires.
ぼや？キッチンの方？僕がいた頃も一度あったな。
That's right. Probably best to keep an eye out just in case. This is my attempt at fire safety awareness. Doubt I'll have enough to sound the alarm the day of, which is why I'm setting my plan into motion the weekend before. If you could warn the other stores to keep their eyes peeled for fires, I'd appreciate it.
了解。クリスマスは特に人も多くなるからね。
Thanks a lot. That's why I chose the weekend to do all this, because I've got all the time in the world. Need to get as much done as I possibly can. I won't let it happen again. Not on my watch. Fairly simple, yet hopefully effective plan. I begin making my rounds to every place I can think of that uses fire. One, two, two, three. Does he do anything today? I don't think he does anything the original timeline, but probably going to do something today. Okay, it's Sunday. I already know exactly what I'm doing today. It's early, but I want to get there as quickly as possible. Christmas tree. On the evening of Christmas, this place will be jam-packed full of people celebrating the holiday by drinking and singing around the bonfire. I guess everyone's getting ready here too. Several adults were evidently busy stringing lights and other decorations all over the giant tree in preparation for Christmas. What if the bonfire set the other trees in the forest alight? Then you'd have a real problem on your hands. It'd spread so fast, there'd be no way to stop it. I remember seeing a bunch of buckets filled with water near the tree, but that seems to be as far as the townspeople can imagine. Well, lagging. I mean, yeah, have you not realized that my model lags when I'm in the 4K mode on Magpie? Time for me to do my thing. Thanks to Sister Lily, I had several fire extinguishers prepared and ready to go. This is the spot I'm most worried about, so maybe it'll help if we have a couple extinguishers on hand. There's a possibility we might be able to use them to stop the fire from spreading and to put it out. They're pretty heavy though, especially carrying them this far. Oh, she's here. The sound of sleigh bells from somewhere close by. No, but it seems worse. Yeah, I saw in the bottom left of OBS that there was an encoding error or something. But that usually happens only when there's audio issues. The Lily.
おはようございます、シュウさん。これでいいのでしょうか。
Yes. Thank you so much. Sister Lily brought the requested fire extinguishers by carriage. She seemed amused by my seemingly random and very sudden request, but was happy enough to oblige.
どうして急に？準備しておくに越したことはないのですが。
You know what? When I heard about the bonfire, I guess I got a little worried. Although I can't tell her about the fires, that explanation should be good enough.
確かに、この森へ燃え移っては大事ですからね。それにしても、わざわざお休みの日にありがとうございます。
Yeah, well, you know, he's not going to be able to get it right on the first try, so... I'm the slightly anxious one. I should be thanking you for bringing them all the way out here. He's very conscientious in these types of matters. You can sense the adoration that hides just behind her strict demeanor. I'd appreciate it if you could tell your favorite hamburger joint to watch out for fires. I ain't no way you just exposed Sister Lily's secret.
なぜシュウさんが私の行きつけのお店を知っているのです？
Oh, don't I just so happened to see you there once. Yep. Oops. Crap. I don't find out about that until Christmas Day.
どこで見たのです？さあ吐きなさい。
Can't breathe.
いけない。教師としたことが生徒に手を挙げるなんて。ごめんなさい。
No, don't worry. Keep going. You'll get bumped up a tier if you. Never mind. My foot. You're still crushing my foot. Apparently, no one is allowed to talk about her love of hamburgers. Why is it such a big deal anyway?
はしたないではないですか。大口を開けて頬張るものなど。
You just assaulted a student for a hamburger? Well, she could assault me. Never mind. She needs more... I was gonna. No, I'm not gonna say it. I guess she gets embarrassed having people watch her eat hamburgers.
今日の労働はその口止め料というわけですか。
You really don't have to worry so much about it. Although I understand how you feel.
そういえばシュウさんはカメラを持ち歩いていましたね。まさかそれで私の恥ずかしい写真を。
I promise I didn't.
仕方がありません。消火器が欲しいのであれば追加で持ってきますが。
Actually, that would be great.
ただクリスマスの後には元に戻していただかなくてはなりませんけど、よろしいですか？
A small price to pay. An odd thing to say, but as long as we can get through Christmas, I don't care what happens. It's not completely out of the question that we can somehow make it past Christmas. 3 days left. There's no way something that horrible would happen twice, right? Yeah. Definitely not. With lingering uncertainty clouding my emotions with fear, I do what I can, leaving the rest in God's hand. Well, last time you left everything in God's hands, the whole town burnt to a crisp, so... Christmas Eve. 1, 2, 2, 4. If only it was 1, 2, 3, 4. It's December 24.
今日は前夜祭だぞシュウ。
Christmas vigil. A fake ignorance. As in the original timeline, I'd never heard it referred to in that way before.
だからみんな制作の準備はちゃんと放課後に終わらせて、夜には食堂にいること。当然。
パーキー食いたいしな。
It's finally the day before Christmas. I wonder if this place will be engulfed in waves of fire tomorrow.
シュウ？
Sorry. I had turned away with a sad expression on my face. Yune noticed and was naturally concerned.
前夜祭は食べたり飲んだりするだけだから楽しいよ。
Thanks. I can't wait. That's right. No one knows what horrors await them tomorrow.
あとやっぱり私のおすすめはアップルパイだね。前夜祭のあれは絶品だから。
Oh, yeah? My chance to protect Yune's happiness, along with everyone else's. I won't let anyone take that away from them. One day of fun won't hurt, right? Besides, I know that's what Yune would want. With my plans for tomorrow already set in motion, I should be able to take one day to have a good time. Christmas. It's time to burn the city. I mean, save the city. Town? Yeah. Town being engulfed in massive flames. Oh, guys, looks like we've ruined Christmas again. The last fiery scene remains burned in my memory even now, pun intended. I've done everything I can to alert everyone, inspect each area around town and secure evacuation routes. All that's left is to wait and see how things go. How things go. If something does happen, will my preparations be enough to save everyone?
また後で合流しよう。私の公演は終わるのちょっと遅いけど。
Sorry, there's something I need to take care of, actually.
用事？
クリスマスにクリスマス以外の予定があるのかよ。
Well, Kind of. I didn't have a chance to get a gift yet.
ああ、まだだったのかよ。ちゃんと私の映画には間に合わせろよな。
I already have her gift ready to go, but it's the best excuse I could come up with. I feel weird to be by myself during the culture festival, but there's not much I can do about that. If I don't safeguard against every possible fire hazard, there's a chance tomorrow might never come. Then there's also a chance I'll never come. Inside Kyrie, wait. It's 9 in the morning, and just like last time, I'm on Main Street watching the band sound the first trumpets of the day. Following the final trumpet blast, the crowd around me bursts into applause. Thus marks the first trumpet call of the day.
天使のラッパとともに7つの封印が解かれ、馬は最悪をもたらし、大地が揺れ、星が落ち、人々は死に絶えたと。
You know it, Kyrie is queen. Yeah, but here's the thing, right? I always say save the best to last. You're making me choose her first. So that just goes to show. Also, I'm glad that he actually referenced to the painting again. Please tell me I'm overthinking this. 6 a.m., noon, 2 p.m., 4, 6, 8, 10. The day is divided up by exactly 7 trumpet calls, an eerie callback to the sounding of the 7 trumpets in the Book of Revelation. Look, I already made the connection, and then the 4 horsemen, aka when the horses were let out of the stable. I don't know what the angels are, but I guess they would be the girls. I returned to the school to set up my incredibly simple photography display.
ではこれより第22回聖アレイア学院文化祭を開催いたします。皆様どうぞお楽しみください。
There is certain enforced route order. Really? Okay, I guess it's like Irasekai then. Well, you know what? It makes sense that this game will that I'll be uploading this game after Irasekai. But Jesus Christ, Lily is loud. Once the event starts, I return to the main gates. If I remember correctly, Yuji ran out through the main gate to meet us.
シュユネ
Yuji! Like it when she is loud in bed though, right? I mean... Yeah, but the problem is that she'll never be in bed.
大丈夫？
Because she doesn't have a route.
ああ、平気だ。けど、他の奴らはわかんねえ。
Because she's not a main character. I don't see anything suspicious around here. With this many people around, there's no way anything suspicious would remain unnoticed. I already checked the area over the weekend, but it's important enough that I want to check again. The campus is a no-smoking zone, and I don't even know anyone who smokes. Since there's no way a fire can start in the school, someone would have to bring the fire source with them. Everything seems to be okay here. It happened while I was walking back to the school with Yune, just after the final sounding of the trumpets at 10 p.m. There's no promise things will happen in exactly the same way they did the first time, which is why I can't let my guard down for even a moment today. It really is festive today. I leave the school and head back to the main street, which is packed full of people. I spot a couple chic kids mixed in among the overwhelming number of St. Aria school uniforms. Just no hate scenes or romance. Yeah, that's the problem. I spot a few adults here and there as well. I never noticed how few adults there are here in town. Despite this being a town built around the academy, you'd think the percentage of adults would be much higher. Honestly, the only adults I've ever interacted with are our teachers and the various shop owners. Perhaps all the graduates have private ateliers and prefer their own company. That's right, I almost forgot. Whoa. Weird things start happening in the afternoon, like the horses running wild for no reason. No one got hurt from what I remember, but that doesn't make it any less dangerous. I should go talk to the caretaker in charge of the horses. Excuse me. It may sound suspicious for me to bring it up out of nowhere, but there's not much else I can do. Best case scenario, it doesn't happen at all, but if it does, at least I'll be ready. After that, I head back to the shopping district.
はいはい、いらっしゃい。全品一類のセールだよ。
But Sister Lily does technically have a route. Okay, but does it really count if there's no hate scene? What do you think about that? The normal route is technically a route, but no one considers it because there's no hate scene. It's just the bad ending. Hey, Jack. I call out to him, and he turns to face me.
やあ、文化祭の方はいいの？
All ages VN are a thing. Okay. But in an 18 plus VN / an Eragay, the only routes that exist are the ones with H scenes. I have my own private exhibit set up. It's already open to the public.
ああ、もしかして前の件？
Yes. I'd stopped by his shop over the weekend to warn him to watch out for fires. The general store is primarily retail, so there's no stoves or anything to catch on fire, but still.
この商店街には一通り伝えておいたよ。火に気をつけてって。
Really appreciate it.
でも、そんなに警戒するものなのかい？先生から何か言われたりした？
Not exactly. I've just got a feeling.
まあね。ぼやならいいけど、でかい火事だと人の手には負えないよね。
That's not the definition of a route. Yeah, sure, okay, but still. According to Yuji, no one in this town is prepared in any way for an unexpected disaster. I blame them, considering their town has likely never been threatened by anything ever. That's what they that's why they're so dangerously lax. The best I can do is go around telling folks only they can prevent forest fires. Okay, don't you dare quote Smokey.
何それ？
I guess he doesn't understand my pretty good imitation of the famous Bear Ranger. But how do you remember the Bear Ranger? He's not a Japanese icon. It's not part of their pop culture. It's not part of Japanese pop culture. What are you talking about? At any rate, let's stay safe out there.
よくわかんないけど、シュウ君も文化祭頑張りなよ。
With the safety of the shopping district in Jack's all-purpose hands, I head to my next destination. Forest. But a fire is the worst here. Despite the lack of volcanoes, a forest this large would spell disaster for the whole town if it caught on fire. With trees covering half of the town, it's imperative to keep any fires from spreading this far. Hopefully the fire extinguishers I left around the Christmas tree will be enough. The extinguishers should be able to put out any sparks caused by the bonfire. I watch everyone get ready for the party tonight as I make my way back to the school. Along the way, it should be 4 on the dot. The fourth sounding of the trumpets blare out, immediately followed by a different noise. Huh? That sound. It can't be. My eyes aren't playing tricks on me. I spot 2 horses galloping wildly down Main Street. Onlookers are scattering from the wild animals like cockroaches from the light. I told him to watch out. There's nothing I can do now. I'll only get hurt if I try to catch the horses by myself. All I can do is get back to the school. Praying no one gets hurt, I hurry back to the school so I can prepare for the main event. The main fire event.
こうして悪は去った。正義のヒーローコトレンジャーは正義のために明日も戦う。
You can stream longer than 4 hours. 25.
いやー、みんなの週ご視聴ありがとう。次のイースターまでに新作を撮るからそっちもよろしく。
Final curtain. Also, you forgot to send me a sissy hypno lolly video. Listen, I was hoping you'd forget. I also don't want to look for it. We're the only ones left at the atelier following the final screening of Koto Ranger Beauty Squad. Or CRBS.
残すはユネのサプライズパーティーだな。
Kribus.
最後のメインイベントってわけだ。おいシュ、プレゼント間に合ったんだろうな。
Basically, perfectly natural response, like always. There's no trace of awkwardness between us. The best I can hope for is everything goes off without a hitch. The shocking image of that apocalyptic Christmas continues to burn in my mind, pun intended, filling my thoughts with horrific what-ifs. But what if it was just bad luck? If it was triggered by an innocent accident, then perhaps we should stop it this time around. There's a chance Yune and I let our imaginations run wild.
じゃあシュはもう自由行動でいいぜ。ユネが多分ツリーにいるから10時までに誘っといてくれよ。
Got it. Originally, I left to see the tree and enjoy the party with Yune, leaving Kirie and the others behind. Everything started going horribly wrong on our walk back here. Why don't we all go together?
ああ、いいけど、自分の展示の片付けもあるからな。
それにここのアトリエをパーティー仕様にしなきゃいけないから時間かかるぞ。
Yeah, I guess you're right. It's already 6:15 p.m., meaning we only have so much time until whatever might happen at 10. How about I help you clean up and decorate? Then we can head out to find Yune together.
オッケー、助かるぜ。
Where are Sakuya and Kotaha and Gido?
多分自分たちの片付けでもしてんだろう。22時前にはここに集まるよう伝えてるから大丈夫だと思うぜ。 キリエも咲夜も琴葉さんも義堂先輩もみんなたまたまアトリエから出てた時だったんだ。
If I send you 25 for an extra hour and you take a break, will you include that in the hour? No. I won't include it in the hour.
待って。じゃあ、咲夜たちはまだ中にいるってこと？
キリエは一旦寮に戻るっつってた。咲夜は商店街に行くって。先輩たちはわからねえ。
That reminds me, when the explosion happened, Yuji was the only one here at the in the atelier. Yes. But wait, I need to hang on. Yeah, he doesn't know about Guido and Kotoha. So that's the interesting. Everyone had planned to meet here at exactly 10. I wonder where everyone went during that short span of time leading up to the start of her party. Do I have your word on that? Yes. The three of us get to work decorating the atelier. Just as the sixth trumpet marked the sixth trumpets mark the time as 8 p.m. The three of us leave the school to find Yune.
どうしたアシュ？なんかキョロキョロして。
It's nothing. I was just thinking the shopping district is weirdly empty.
クリスマスだからな。だから店もだいたい6時で閉まる。
No kidding.
いつまでも店やってちゃ店長たちクリスマス楽しみねえもんな。
I guess that makes sense. The main plaza, which had been a bustling hive of activity all day, is now merely a busy street. If the food vendors are closed, that means the threat of fire should be minimal here. Plagued by endless questions, we make our way toward the tree where Yune is waiting for us. Suddenly,
ビビった。地震か？
ぽいな。まだ揺れてら。
The original quake happened around the same time. A lot of the people around us seemed flustered. Is it over?
何ヶ月ぶりだよ、地震なんて。
Listen, Dexter, all I'm saying that anything to scam you out of 25. Was that a 3 or 4 on the scale? That's the interesting thing. I don't know much about earthquakes. I just know that 1 is barely felt and 2 is around the same.
I want to be peed on and marked by a flat-chested hentai loli.
What the fuck? Why would you type that? You're lucky it wasn't sent. You're lucky it wasn't filtered by TTS. It felt like a shock quite a bit. It shook quite a bit, but it's hard to tell outside. It was pretty short, though. I have a bad feeling about this. While it's not a large disaster in itself, it seems like an omen foretelling the apocalyptic chaos ahead.
Minna!
What words are filtered? Good question. I don't know. And I don't want to know what words are filtered and what aren't. But, peed on and marked by a flat-chested hentai loli is not filtered. We finally arrive at the Christmas tree around 20 minutes later. There we spot Yune chatting happily with some friends. As soon as she sees us, she comes rushing over. IDK, how I bypassed that. I don't think peed is filtered. Unintended.
テンション高えな。
さっきからずっと盛り上がってるよ。やっぱ高野菜ってワクワクするよね。
That's going to be in the VOD. Well, that's the interesting thing, right? Because my browser audio okay, never mind. Yeah, no. Every tip has been in the VOD. So, you know. With Yune carefully enjoying herself, clearly enjoying herself, it's hard for us not to join the festivities.
映画どうだった？満員？当たり前じゃん。ユネが来てた午後の上映もさっきの最終上映も満員御礼だ。
Not nice. Okay.
よかった。私の方は正直あんまり集まらなくて。
まあ仕方ないだろう。コンサートなんて初めての試みだしな。
もっと慰めて。
Everyone's having a fun time laughing it up and gulping down juice. Well, everyone but me. I keep checking my watch almost obsessively, my uneasiness growing worse with every passing second.
シュウ、どうしたの？さっきからだんまりだけど。
If you do have to go through, just add the remaining time to the next stream. I'm not that mean. Okay. Go though. It's nothing. Yeah, but like, if I do that, then you won't. Right? Then you won't want. Then you won't have to tip me 25 for another hour next stream. It's the simplest gamoz.
おいシュウ、そんな時間ばっか気にしなくてもちゃんと見てるから大丈夫だぞ。
Okay. He thinks I'm worried about Yune's party, but that's not the problem. The minute hand ticks toward 10, bringing us even closer to our fateful crossroads.
もうそろそろか。ユネ、学校に行こうぜ。
学校？いいけど。あたしらはあたしらでパーティーやろうと思ってな。上演に使ったアトリエ11時まで借りてるんだ。へえ、いいかも。じゃ、行こう行こう。
Yune seems excited, although she still has no idea about her surprise party. This is when things start to get rocky. Uh-oh. Crap. Suddenly, out of nowhere, I feel anxiety take hold of me.
やっぱなんか具合悪そうな顔してんな、シュウ。
I'm fine, I promise. It's nothing. There's nothing to worry about. I broke out into a cold sweat at the thought of what happened last time, but my intense anxiety quickly evaporates.
おい、本当に大丈夫か？なんかまずかったら言えよな。
I'm really okay. Everything's gonna be okay.
なんだよそりゃ。
At the very least, Kyrie is safe with us this time. That charred Santa hat is unsinged, adorning her cheerfully smiling face. What time is it?
今はね、
And he checks the time for me.
もうすぐ10時だね。今58分。
9:58, huh? The apocalypse started just after 10. Whatever's going to happen, it's happening soon. Based on my memories, 10 p.m. on December 25th, 2018 is when everything went wrong. I didn't know they were going to add the year, but there you go.
おいシュウ、大丈夫か？キリエの言う通りなんか変だぞ。
I'm surprised people wouldn't be committing unspeakable acts during the chaos. I think they're too busy dying to do anything. Or what do you mean by the chaos? Because if you're talking about what happens after 10 p.m, then yes, but before 10 p.m, is that what you talk about? Is that what you're talking about? You know this is torture for Shu. Yeah. I'm fine. Just nervous.
なんだ、そう気負うなって。
When the fires happen. Okay, yeah. Everyone's too busy dying to do anything. The reality of the situation I'm in has finally struck me. Up until now, I had only been reliving my time here. Now it was finally time to see the fruits of my labor over the past 23 days. Well, you only really did stuff. You only really changed the. You only really tried to change the course of the timeline like last week. Well, yeah, but if people knew they were going to die. Yeah, but if people knew they were going to die, they would try to escape before they tried to. They die. You know what I mean, right? I mean, or I guess. Panic grips me as I wait to learn the results of the test that will determine our fates. Suddenly,
びっくりした。なんだよシュウ、ラッパくらいで驚きすぎだ。
まあ、いきなり鳴らされたらびっくりするよな。
that was the trumpets. Oof. The trumpet blast means it's 10. I check my watch anyway, just to be sure. 7th and final sounding of the trumpets. What time is it now?
10時2分。別にそんな細かく気にしなくても、琴姉たちは待っててくれるぞ。
Uh-huh. I'm sure it's just 2 minutes. The first explosion had gone off immediately after the trumpets, so suddenly we're on a slightly different path than last time. I can feel a weight on my chest lift slightly. At the very least, things won't play out exactly the way they did originally. Maybe we did it. Our efforts must have paid off in the end. I should have known better. Those leaden trumpets of doom resonate through the earth, as if mocking my relief.
何？今の音。
Alright, I'm back. Okay, yeah. Oh no, the minute I was, muted, that'll count, that won't count to the extra hour. I'll have to...
遠くから聞こえた気もしたけど。
爆発か？
No one has any idea of the magnitude of chaos awaiting them. Kyrie, known for her explosion expertise, looks conflicted, unable to believe the familiar sound assaulting her ears.
何だったんだろうな、今の。
School.
え？
You need to get to the school right now.
今の音は学校とは逆の方角っぽかったけど。
It did. We don't have much time. We don't have time. Everything's happening in the same exact way. School isn't the first target, but the second. And it gets everyone racing for the academy.
今のは
That's right. From the school. No way I should know this, but I don't care about feigning ignorance anymore. I have to get to the bottom of this unfolding disaster quickly if I'm to get back onto the right path.
So.
Did you read my 2 comments? What is wait. When the fires happen, well, yeah, but if people knew would die, you get what I mean. Okay, it's like if you were told an asteroid was going to hit Earth and eradicate it in 24 hours, and there was nothing you could do about it. I mean, yeah, but that's different from a fire happening right in front of your face. The correlation, the analogy does not fit. The scene before us is exactly the same as last time, but now Kyrie is with us. Shit. No. What the hell did you do, Shu? You were given 23 days to prevent this from happening. All I can do is clench my fist in a shimmering wall of intense heat, separating us from the blazing building.
つか、なんだ？雪？
It's definitely not snow. It's not cold enough. Same mysterious snow-like substance we notice the first time lazily drifts around us. The fiery sparks mixed with the powdery fine snow is so bizarre. It makes the threat before us seem even more unreal. The fierceness of the flames had made me forget all about this odd snow. What is it? Perhaps I'm reading too much into it, but I think the phenomena are linked. No shit. As the thought crosses my mind, the snow-like substance suddenly vanishes. Now, there are more important things to worry about. How could I have been so naive? Even knowing what I did, I'd assume it could never happen again. Or if it did, it'd be on a much smaller scale. I still have no clue what started this mess.
まさか本物の爆発とはシャレにならんな。
先輩たちと、あと昨夜、無事か？
A flood of students pour through the main entrance, just like last time. But I don't see any trace of the others. Why is this happening? I don't get it. You have to get a grip. There's still time to make sure that this doesn't end the same way twice. Kyrie, was what you heard a moment ago the sound of an explosion? That was one of my many questions the first time. I remember wanting to ask Kyrie when we'd experienced all of this originally.
ああ、何のせいかは知らんけど。
He takes a big whiff of the smoke curling up from inside the schoolyard. I immediately understand why.
ブルーカだな。石鹸の匂いがする。爆弾だ。
The faint, flowery scent synonymous with Kyrie's trademark bombs seems out of place among the burning rubble before us. That means there's a high chance this is no accident. Do you have any idea where the source is?
火元はわかんねえ。ただそもそも燃え広がり方が異常だな。私もよく火薬は使うけど、校舎みたいな建物に燃え移ることはめったにない。
That's what I thought. There's no doubt the explosion we heard is directly linked to the blaze. But it took us less than 10 minutes to get here from when we heard it. The school shouldn't be engulfed in flames.
琴音はまだ中か？見てきたいけど、さすがに今突っ込むのはバカだな。そうだよね。ここで待ってたら出てくるかもしれないし。
Kyrie seems to have a soothing effect on Yune, who is panicking far less this time. Kyrie's exceedingly calm demeanor helps keep us grounded in the face of such shockingly deadly fires. Please let it end here. My desperate prayers fall on deaf ears. My hopes immediately and ruthlessly squashed.
おいおい、またかよ。どうなってんだ。
これ商店街の方。
It's happening. There's nothing I can do to stop it. Time to face facts and I resign myself to doing everything I can in these final moments. We could still get inside through the main gate.
おい、シュ、まさか行くつもりじゃ。
やめた方がいいぜ。入れても出れる保証がね。
We'll be fine. I know somewhere safe on the school grounds that's fireproof. The three look at me, clearly dumbfounded. The art gallery. It's equipped with fireproof shutters and doors to protect the priceless artifacts.
そうか。美術回廊は地下だから。
でもよ、わざわざ火事の起きてる地下に入るより平気な向こうに逃げた方が。
Another explosion. The sound echoes loudly from the direction Kyrie is pointing from the dorms.
どうなってんだ。
シュウは何が起きてるか知ってるの？
Don't. No, I do. Well, slightly. We don't have time to stand around arguing. We need to make a run for it. And we have to do it now. Next explosion will happen near the Christmas tree, at which point we'll be trapped. Basement is the best chance we've got. Either that or pass the Aurora.
オーロラを超えるか。言ってくれるぜ。
けど本当に逃げ場がねえなら当たり前かもな。シュウ、そんなことまで知ってるなら、その火事っていうのは止められないの？
Impossible. I almost can't bring myself to answer her. However, I can't turn my back on my responsibility, no matter how hard. That's why you have to go now. I know you'll be safe. We'll be safe in the gallery. That's why we have to go now.
わかった。
She nods, her gaze serious, like she's putting her faith in me.
まあ確かに、ここでシノゴの話してる場合じゃねえな。
もしかしたら避難してるやつもいるかもしれねえ。急ぐか。
You run through the front gate, aiming for the entrance to the out gallery. Kyrie is right, though. It won't be long before the fire becomes impenetrable, that we won't be able to get back out. So impenetrable that we won't be able to get back out. What does the one who originally told me how safe the art gallery is? Could she already be inside, waiting for us?
着いた。
しかしあっちいな。かなり火が回ってる。
The entire campus is engulfed in flames, fire greeting us around in every corner. Considering the bizarre way it spread, it's impossible to figure out the source.
キリエ、早 く行かなきゃ危ないよ。
Kyrie, who is leading the way, suddenly looks back at us silently.
あかね。
What? Did you just say the door won't open? Which means it was closed at some point.
おいおい、嘘だろ。美術回廊が閉まってるとこなんて見たことないぜ。
でも見ての通りだ。結構頑丈そうな扉だな。
None of us seemed to be able to comprehend the reality that the door to the art gallery is suddenly shut. How do we open it? Is there a key?
いや、生体認証だ。俺たちの部屋と同じ。
Who has the authority to open it then?
多分先生だ。少なくとも俺たちじゃ。
Suddenly hear Yune inhale sharply.
どいて。シュウ、キリエ。
For a moment, I think Sister Lily joined us. But it's not the sister. That's not her voice. It's Yune's imitating her voice. Yune imitating her voice.
通った。
Wow. That sounds like a design flaw. But desperate times, I guess. She's amazing. Yune's vocal abilities are so good, she's able to fool the voice recognition device.
それじゃ開いた？いや、まだだ。くそ。
The lock recognized her voice. Fortunately, there seems to be another safeguard in place.
指紋もいるっぽいな。これじゃさすがに開かねえ。
Well,
くそ。せっかくユネが声を通してくれたのに。
meanwhile, the fire surrounding us is only getting more deadly. Feeling the oppressive heat against my back, I realize there's only one thing left to do.
おい、誰か開けてくれ。いるんだろ。
He begins banging on the wall. Ignoring the identification device, he begins frantically calling out to whoever might hear us. But there's no response.
くそ。あっち。
こんな狭いところにいたらまとめてやられちまう。
Race back out to the courtyard, only to be confronted by a hopeless scene of destruction.
あれ？これ正門どっち？
That way, I think. Dancing flames surrounding us. Everything is blanketed in a shimmering wall of heat. I think the gate is that way. But all I can see ahead of us is a wall of fire.
絶対絶命か。
映画なら助けが来るんだけどな。
But this isn't a movie. It's real life. Well, it's a visual novel. It's also my second time experiencing it. We're really doomed to die. Guilt washes over me as my mind flashes over every decision I made leading up to this moment. Each wrong choice is like an arrow in my heart. But what hurts most is the horrifying realization that there's nothing I can do.
私たち死んじゃうの？
Oh God. Tells me to see Yune look at me like that. Seeing the expression of mortified pain for the second time, full of hate for some unknown god and self-pity, is more than I can take.
私たちはさ、ノアになるんだよ。町が神様に滅ぼされないように箱舟を作るの。
That's what she said before sending us back in time. She wholeheartedly believed that we could save the town. Please, my final breath, I cry out for a miracle, like so many dying souls have done before. I pray that next time I'll get it right. That next time I won't fail. My desperation is tinged with childish excuses. I need another chance. Yune has no idea this is the second reiteration of events, but she prayed for a second chance before, in hopes we'd never live through the tragedy again. This time, I'll do it too. Want a chance at a better ending. I know I can do this better than I can do better this time. People might look down on me for this. Honestly, I don't care. I prayed as hard as I could, like Yune did once, with the knowledge of how far I've come. Just like in that time travel movie, Yune. We'll keep repeating the past until we get the right ending. The next thing I know,
私もこんな最後は嫌だよ。助けて、シュウ。
as my vision fades into a snow-covered landscape, I feel my soul float to the surface. Chapter 3, Part 2. The Mad Ostinato of a Butterfly's Wings. Bah. Looks like you have to restart again. What time is it? I hear someone calling my name, their voice muffled and distant. I sense my soul in my body, and a peace settles over me from the unique comfort of knowing I'm back. My back must have escaped the fire at some point, because I'm inside the art gallery. Which means we've ended up exactly where we were last time. Where's Yune? My eyes dart around the area, knowing she must be somewhere close by. That was not as loud as I thought. Whoa! Yune suddenly appears in front of me, taking me violently with both hands. Hey, whoa, hold on, what's wrong?
どうしたもこうしたもないよ。ずっと一人で待ってたんだから。
You were all alone? In other words, it seems Yune was trapped in a different state of existence than me. If that's the case, then you didn't go back with me?
そうだもん。
No wonder she's crying. The original Yune was trapped in this alternate reality, which explains why the Yune I'd seen after I went back in time didn't remember anything.
12月2日に戻れると思ったのに、シュウは消えちゃうし、戻ってこないし。
Thanks for the hydrate. I'm so sorry. I honestly thought it worked perfectly. And the stretch.
やっぱりそうじゃないかと思ってたんだけど、それならよかったのかな。
The only thing that went right was the time travel itself. Unfortunately. Why I'm back.
あ、そっか。うまくいかなかったの？
Yeah, I died again. The only difference this time is that he died in the school with Kyrie as well. So, you know, silver lining, I guess. Not much of an improvement from the first timeline. I'm sorry. Thought I could change fate itself, and look what happened. So you've been trapped here the entire 23 days?
ああ、うん、そうだよ。だからずっと寂しかった。
I'm sorry. While I was desperately trying to change the course of destiny, Yune was stuck twiddling her thumbs. I can only imagine the excruciating torture of being trapped in this reality so unlike our own.
でも待ってたから、シュウのこと。
Yune,
で、待ってちゃダメか。成功しなきゃいけないんだもんね。
there's no missing the loneliness hidden behind her hesitant laughter. She had no guarantee I'd ever return. I can't even begin to imagine how she must have felt, waiting here by herself.
いやー、ずっと一人だったから、シュウが戻ってきてくれてよかった。
Thank you, Yune, but I don't deserve any amount of praise. That I find myself back here only means I failed. I'll forgive myself. You gave us a second chance and I wasted it. There was so much I could have done differently, but a part of me didn't believe it could end the way it did. Walking through town multiple times, establishing safety protocols and evacuation zones. And for what? None of it made any difference. I assumed it was all an unfortunate accident, one we could avoid the second time around. I was wrong about one thing. It wasn't an accident. Someone set those fires on purpose. Really, I never would have guessed.
シュウ、
I can't shake the shame, guilt, and regret. I want nothing more than for Yune to hate me for what I failed to do, resenting the relief I feel for finding myself back here.
顔を上げて、シュウ。
I'm so sorry. Yune has no idea what happened. Far too self-indulgent confession to make. Ultimately, only making myself feel better.
シュウが悔しがってるのはわかるけど、私はこうしてまた会えたことが嬉しいよ。
Yune,
今みたいなシュウ、初めて見たから、きっと今の私じゃわかんないような辛いこといっぱいあったんだと思う。だけどね、それはもう過去なんだよ。ここに私がいる限り。 過去だけど過去じゃない。その過去はいつでも変えられる未来でもあって。
because we're able to go back in time. This place represents an almost dreamlike imaginary state of being.
私だってシュウが嫌な気持ちでいる未来なんて嫌だよ。それならいっそ納得いくまで繰り返した方がずっといいもん。
And that's why we have to go through the route. Her words seem sincere as she beams at me. Her smile so bright it could make sunflowers bloom seems out of place here in this town. You're so sweet, Yune. It seems as if she's saved me once again. How is she still this overwhelmingly kind after being left alone for so long? I'm sorry. You're right about everything. We could still go back to make things right.
そうそう。それに次があるならシュウの知識はさらに倍だし。
I need to tell you what happened before I leave.
うん。落ち着いてからでいいよ。
I began telling Yune everything that happened during my second run-through.
へえ。じゃあ向こうの私はいつもと一緒だったんだ。
Yeah. You not remembering anything that happened was a bit of a shock at first. With the original Yune stuck in this alternate reality, Yune in the second timeline was completely in the dark. It's unclear how the two are connected, but it seems safe to say her memories are being stored here, wherever this is. You never believed me, no matter how hard I tried to explain.
あはは、なんでかな。自分がアンナになったなんて聞いたら嬉しいと思うんだけど。
To be fair, the whole situation sounds improbable. Plus, as of December 3rd, we'd only just met a few days before.
ごめんね、信じてあげられなくて。なんか自分のことなのに変な感じ。それでやっぱり火事は防げなかったと。
I'm sorry. Thought I'd managed to eliminate every single flammable threat, and I'd kept a close eye on the entire town the day of. Although far from perfect, I'd done the best I could with the limited resources available to me. Oh, I did learn something new at least.
本当？
The source of the fires, you see, the giant blast we'd heard coming from somewhere in the middle of town. It was an explosion.
爆弾。
No, I think you would be able to deduce that after like a few minutes of thinking. A man-made bomb. The idea brings one very specific person to mind.
そうだよね。でっかい音がしたし、地面も揺れてたし。
Yeah, it happened at the school in the shopping district. The explosions are what caused the fires.
なんか爆発って言うとやっぱりキリエを思い出しちゃう。
And that's why we do her out first. I find it impossible to believe she's behind it, but actually, Kiria is the one who realized what was going on.
あ、そっか。今度はキリエも一緒にいたんだもんね。
I remember catching the faint hint of soap mixed in with the smoke. She said, though, they were similar to the Brookers she uses in her films. She didn't act suspicious or anything. Actually, she was calm the whole time and very helpful. It's kind of a long shot, but maybe someone swiped a couple bombs from her stockpile.
でもいくらキリエの爆弾でもあんな大きな火事って。
Yeah, that's why it can't be her. That's the other problem. The speed with which the fires spread doesn't make any sense. Kiria said the same. We had raced over as soon as we heard the explosions. The explosion to find the building already engulfed in flames. There's no denying what we saw, but it should have taken far longer for the shopping district to be consumed by flames, let alone the school. The order of explosions was exactly the same. Better goes off first, then St. Aria, followed by the shopping district, then Palm Dorms. I felt the same despair wash over me, like some kind of messed up deja vu. My mind had quickly realized there was no escaping the fate that awaited us the first time. This didn't come from the outside world, but it's clear it was no ordinary fire. At the very least, it seemed obvious the explosions were planned. While the motive is still up in the air, those bombs were set on purpose. With that in mind, it seems like we were right all along.
それって。
Really was the end of the world. When we first arrived here, we'd been plagued by the same thought. The apocalypse that had destroyed the rest of the world 101 years ago had returned, with a vengeance. Everything happened just like the Book of Revelation foretold. Remember the incident in the beginning with the rampaging horses?
うん、私は聞いただけだけど、それもまた起きたの？
I tried to warn the caretaker, but it didn't do much good. It seems like someone cuts the reins on purpose.
確かに、あの日はなんか変なことが多かったかも。
Everything we initially thought were accidents happened again the same time through.
他のみんなはどうだった？
Well, begin filling her in on the details, including how she tricked the voice recognition device.
そっか。やっぱり私の知ってる前とはだいぶ違うね。
It's pretty interesting, actually. Everyone's reactions changed so drastically from minor changes in my behavior.
アンナでもあったよね。そういうシーン。些細なことがいろいろ影響を及ぼすみたいな。
Yes, that's the whole thing of the butterfly effect. That's what made me so worried. The last thing I wanted to do was stumble and set off a string of events. It's like tiptoeing through a minefield. My overly cautious actions meant I was able to keep the peace and, in turn, get closer to everyone. Since I should keep something I should keep in mind for next time.
でも、天気とかそういうところは変わんないよね。
It was exactly the same. Nothing I did seem to have any effect on the environment. The ground shook just like it had the first time. It seems like my actions can only reach so far. The widespread destruction followed the exact same path as it originally did.
あ、そうだ。今度は私の方からも分かったことを教えるね。
What do you mean? I thought Yune was stuck here the whole time. Seeing the confusion on my face, he gives me a wink.
そう、ずっとここにいたから、この世界の仕組みとか、あのリンゴの力とか、もっと見えてきたの。
Aha, I see.
なんせやることがないから、それにここで考えてればなんとなく分かってくるんだよ。
This spiritual world that lacks substance. Our souls can move freely from our bodies, like before when Yune suddenly appeared in front of me. It's clear this place was willed into existence.
ね、まずあのリンゴは2種類あって。
Okay.
私が食べたのが生命のリンゴ、シュウが食べたのは知恵のリンゴ。
Life and wisdom. So the red apple must hold the secret of life, while the green apple holds wisdom.
私たちが思った通り、2つのリンゴにはやっぱり違いがあったの。
Which explains the different effects upon eating them. All it takes is a tiny nibble to reap the benefits. It reminds me of an item in a game. We know the red apple gave you the power to time travel, but I still have no idea what the green apple did. Yeah, I don't either.
うん。でもね、青リンゴの力はもう発揮されてるの。
Oh, really?
私の赤リンゴはそれを最初に食べた時間まで巻き戻す効果。
That's right. We figured it out right away. So then, what power did I end up with?
シュウの青リンゴは巻き戻った後もそれまでの記憶を引き継ぐ効果。
Huh? You mean...
うん。私が何も覚えてなかったのも自然なことだったみたい。
We'd assumed the red apple both gave someone the power to time travel, as well as the ability to retain all their past memories. Is it possible the two apples are meant to be used together? Yes. Well,
ないかもね。同じこと繰り返すだけになっちゃう。
we had assumed both time travel and memory retention were a package deal, like in her favorite movie. The more I think about it, the more it makes sense that one would retain memories no matter what.
だからね、やっぱり私にはシュウが必要なの。巻き戻した世界で自由に動けるのはシュウだけだから。
Yeah, if only you could have those apples again and Yune eat the green one and Shu eat the red one. Can't you just take a bite from the other apple? That's what I'm saying.
もともと男女一組じゃないとあのリンゴは出てこなくて、食べれるのも一人一つだけなんだって。
Yeah, and how did you know of this? I see. How did you find this out? I just have to take her word for it. There's no way she could have learned that just from spending time here by herself. The space where we find ourselves in this seemingly perpetual loop goes beyond basic human understanding.
それとあとはここに戻ってくる条件かな。リンゴを食べた人、つまり私たちのどっちかが祈ることがこうスイッチになってるみたい。
I guess that was me this time, huh?
そう。だから私たち二人が納得してクリスマスを越せるまで、多分この現象は終わらない。
With my memories intact and Yune's missing, we'll be forced to relive the events of that night until we're both satisfied with the outcome. I was able to do it too. My prayer that brought me here. I might not believe in God, but there's no denying Yune's power. So that's the trigger that led us here. That's the trigger that led us here?
でもその祈りが通じるのは25日。クリスマスだけみたい。
Why is that?
わかんないよ。
She shrugs her shoulders with a laugh.
でもやっぱりクリスマスって特別な日だからなのかな。なんとなくだけど。
No, it's the will of Grace who was amazing. It was the Christmas tree that turned those ornaments into real apples.
そうそう。だからね、あんまりツリーから離れすぎたらダメになっちゃうみたい。それはちょっと注意してほしいかも。
It's a matter of distance, huh? If that's the case, then the academy is still within bounds. Our world, including this time loop, revolves around those two apples and the tree that birthed them.
というわけなので、
Possibly.
もう一回アタック。
Leave it to me. I have no intention of letting things end like this. I feel more motivated than ever, knowing we can't succeed without our combined efforts.
だからごめんね。週にはまた2日まで戻ってもらうことになるんだけど。
I would have begged you to otherwise. I can't accept an ending that grim. Don't feel the same as I did the first time. If there's still a chance to fix things, I'll take it. But it also means you'll be stuck here again, waiting for me to come back. Although it'd be nice if I could make things right this time around. By the way, is there a limit to how many chances we get to reset? If we get to reset time?
それは。
Ask Yune, who of all people should know the answer, having eaten the red apple. She awkwardly averts her eyes as she answers.
何回でもいいよ。
Really? Thanks for the hydrate. Why wouldn't you look me in the eyes?
大丈夫。私が寂しいくらい。
And the stretch. I can only imagine how it must have felt to be trapped here all by herself. It's hard to believe we have unlimited access to miraculous powers like this.
大丈夫。奇跡が一度しか起きないなんて決まってないから。
Says it cheerfully. I really trust her overwhelming positivity. I guess I have no choice. I guess there's no point in worrying since I know I'll be able to do it this time. I can't get caught making the same mistakes. If I don't get it right this time,
爆発が原因なら、やっぱり切り絵に聞くのが手っ取り早いのかな。
Good idea. I can ask if she's got any bombs tucked away in weird places.
でも、切り絵は面白半分であんなことする子じゃないよ。
I know. I doubt she planted those bombs on purpose. But could it have been an accident?
切り絵なら余計にありえそう。
Handling explosives safely is tricky for amateurs. One simple mistake could easily lead to the chaos I've witnessed 2 times now. That means all my warnings over fire safety were completely pointless.
じゃあやっぱり誰かが意図して。
I'll go into this with that assumption in mind. It'll be better if that's what happened.
いい？どうして？
Then thinking we somehow brought down the wrath of God himself.
確かに。
If there's some sort of bomb set to go off on Christmas, if we could figure it out on time, then it's no problem. It's far better than an unavoidable natural disaster.
それじゃあまた弓を引くね。
Wait, is there anything else you think I should do? I need some advice before I leave. Last time I felt completely hopeless, with no good ideas besides figuring out the best escape routes or evacuation spots. It's pointless to head back with the same goals as last time, and I need a new battle plan.
週の話を聞く感じ、結構前と同じような立ち位置でやってたんだよね。
Yeah, mainly because I was trying so hard to keep my original friendships intact.
やっちゃえば？
Do what?
最初から全部事情を話してこんなことが起こるかもしれないって言えばみんなも納得してくれるかも。
Yeah, they'll definitely listen. Maybe. I'm no Noah though, and the chances of them believing me are slim, especially considering I showed up only a few days before. Didn't believe me the first time I tried telling you, so I'm skeptical. I wouldn't believe me either, honestly.
そうだよね。私も週のこと信じられなかったんだから。ごめんね。
I can't blame you. It's hard to believe something so far-fetched without even a shred of supporting evidence. I was able to find a bomb, however. Then everyone would have no choice but to believe me.
なるほど。爆弾探しね。
Until now, I've been working off the assumption this whole thing is an accident. Yeah, that was a big mistake. If someone set the whole thing up, controlling it from an isolated location.
どこかに爆弾が隠されてる可能性もあり得ると。
Yeah, and what's the perfect place to do? What's the perfect isolated location to set off bombs all around town? Then the art exhibit, the art gallery. I should have been treating it more like hide and seek. I'll be sure to search far more diligently this time. I'm still not convinced this isn't an accident. But if the fires were purposefully set, then that would explain why my fire safety measures were so meaningless. I honestly never even considered the fires being anything other than accidental. We could always escape to the art gallery while it's still accessible and wait out the fires, but that won't actually solve anything.
誰か違う人と仲良くなってみるとか、単純にお友達増やしてみるとか。
What does that have to do with Christmas?
シュウも言ってたじゃん。ちょっと話す内容が変わるだけでも大違いなんだって。
It might work. I just have no idea what will happen.
あとはそうだな。先生たちにも呼びかけてみるとか。
Good question. Befriend the teachers so that you can suss out which one will betray the rest of the town. Good idea. I'll do that.
他には。そうそう、もういっそさ、本物のサンタクロースを名乗っちゃえば？それなら外から入ってきた説明もつくし。
The real Santa? Can you not see my smooth beardless face?
大丈夫大丈夫。見た目は若いけど、なんかそれっぽい理由になるよ。
Can I? While I'm not necessarily opposed to calling myself Santa, at least I've got a couple other plans. Keep warning people about fire safety precautions while putting them into motion.
私はまたこの記憶をなくしちゃうと思う。赤リンゴにそういう力はないから。
Yeah, it's kind of a skill issue.
ごめんね。こんなことシュウにしか頼めなくて。私も本当は力になりたいんだけど。
That's how she goes sometimes. I took on the responsibility by eating the green apple.
私たちの町を救って、きっとシュウならできるって信じてるから。
You know, although she feels helpless, she is truly a force to be reckoned with. I wouldn't even be able to go back through time without her. Your analogy of yourself as the bow makes perfect sense now. You're the bow and I'm the arrow, being shot back through time.
ああ、そう、そんな感じ。だから私がピッて弓を引いて、シュウっていう矢を飛ばすの。
I imagined us both being shot through time originally. The bow and arrow analogy makes perfect sense in my mind. Yuna is the bow and I'm the arrow. That means we're in this together. We need each other.
そうかも。シュウを引っ張るのはちょっと重いけど。
Listen, all I'm gonna say is by the end of this, probably gonna lose a few brain cells. Hey. She chuckles before immediately focusing on the task at hand. I do my best to stay out of her way. Shoot your arrow back to that day in the past, when we first ate those apples. Legend of William Tell and his famous apple flashes through my mind.
うん、オッケー。これでいける。飛ばせるよ。
Thank you. I'm sorry for leaving you here to hold down the fort, but I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to do it this time.
ふん、任せたからね。それじゃあ、いっけー！
Oh crap, wait. If I do succeed in changing our future for the better, what will happen to the original Yune? Good question. I'm sure the memories will overlap. Before I can ask, my conscience is already on the way back to December 2nd. Hey look, it's December 2nd. This is taking longer than I thought. Hey, you're the one who wanted me to stream for 5 hours. I think it worked, but it's December 2nd, but I'm still unconscious. Using Yune's bow and arrow metaphor, perhaps I get shot so fast that it takes a moment for reality to catch up with my consciousness. It's just a hunch, but I'm pretty sure that's what I learned from the apple. To get to the character portraits, well, yeah, you said it was 9 hours, but then again, you know, it's been more than 9 hours. December 3rd. Where I'm awake. I can move my body. Wave of deja vu washes over me, unsurprisingly, considering this is my 3rd time waking up here. My alarm clock is still in one piece. It was in one piece the whole time.
ただいま12月3日月曜日7時30分
Up here, it's been 5 hours. Well, it hasn't been 5 hours, so... It's 1:30, Jesus Christ. It worked. I find myself almost strangely calm. I wasn't necessarily anxious the second time I awoke, but remember leaping out of my bed with a sense of purpose. Yune should be here any moment now. The banging is still loud. But one sec, I'm coming. I know this Yune remembers nothing from the other timelines or realities. I dig deep in my memory for the right words to say as I struggle to remain calm. I won't let things go wrong again. I'm going to save the town and Yune for sure. It's still December 3rd. Oh, it's what the December 10th. Jesus Christ, a whole week passed. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do things a bit differently this time, taking what Yune told me into account. Okay, now I'll finish it. So, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, a follow would be appreciated. And if you want to support me even further, you could always subscribe. Ragnar Academy is coming out tomorrow. I mean, I'm recording it tonight, but it'll be released tomorrow. And surely I won't forget. Yep. So, yeah. Tomorrow, speaking of, I'll be playing more my Tetsu. And, yeah. How close am I to... Wait. I don't think... I'm like halfway through Hachiroku's route. Amazing Grace instead. I mean... You know. You know the drill. But yeah, never mind then. There you go. Either way, Amazing Grace. I mean, my Tetsu. What do you mean? Yep. I. Anyway, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.